Hello and welcome to the ESA Siege Contender Series. I am McCready and joining me on production will be One. Unfortunately, it will just be me for at least this first game, but today, what a game have we got coming up. Machine Soldiers, which are fourth in the leaderboard for the Contender Series, will be going up against Fact Gaming Founders Squad. Now, a very interesting game and a close game that I'm expecting to see because if I just take a look at these stats real quick, Machine Soldiers, they've won one game, they've lost one game. Both have been two maps, so possibly looking for quick play. Whereas Fact Gaming, they've lost both of their games, but it's been a close game. It's been close each time. One time they were even able to take it out to three maps. And looking at some of those maps, we could see Coastline, Machine Soldiers did start to kind of fall apart on in their second game. Clubhouse and Villa looking quite good, but it was a close game yet again, with 6-8 being the scoreline on both of them. Not really looking towards Fact Gaming. The maps they've won have been close again. The map they've lost, they've kind of been stomped. So not really looking forward to that. But Oregon, Clubhouse, and Consulate, I think Fact are going to want to keep off the table as we look at these map bans first. But speaking of map bans, it looks like Clubhouse and Coastline are going to be taken away with CAF and Theme Park being the first and second pick. Consulate going to be the decider, which I'm not really surprised about. Both teams, not really the best record on there. Okay, looks like the map bans were just a little wrong, but just thinking about that, having CAF and CAF and Villa, I mean, a little bit off in my opinion, but Clubhouse and Coastline, they're going to be the first two. Now, this makes a bit more sense to me because, and Consulate will be the pick, as you can see there. Clubhouse, pretty defender-sided, so I'm not surprised to see this being taken. Just picking it, locking down your defenders on your defense, dig in, just win a couple of attacks, you'll be fine. Coastline doesn't really need as many strats, so you should be good to just get in there, rely on kills more than anything, have a general plan of what you want to accomplish. And from what it looks like with these teams struggling on some of the more complex maps, yeah, I think that's been quite good because we've seen Machine Soldiers that were able to take to overtime when they went onto Coastline last. And if we have a look at Fact as well, they were able to actually bring it quite close when they played on Coastline. So I'm not surprised that they're picking it, even though they did lose, possibly taking from what they've learned and bringing that into the game. We are going to take a short break, I believe, just before the game starts, or it looks like the game's going to be starting any second now. So just ignore what I'm saying just for a little bit. Now, we are going to have another game later, which is going to be Regnant versus Mako. By all means, make sure to stick around and check it out. But we are going to jump into the game. And Fact Gaming will be taking your attack as we have a look at these bans. Honestly, for this first attack ban, from the defenders, most importantly, I really wouldn't be surprised to see a Thatcher ban come out or a Maverick. Bringing those bans in, there we go, there's the Maverick, because the Maverick trick has kind of become a staple of the CCTV site. You Maverick trick it, you open it, you say you don't need a Thatcher for it, and when Thatcher was heavily banned, or just an insta-ban, it really allowed the attackers a lot of flexibility in how they played. They didn't have to focus on the bandit trick. They didn't have to focus on going below. They could just Mav trick. But there is the Thatcher, in fact, and this gonna make it a bit harder for Fact. I don't think they had to ban that Thatcher. Like I said, they're gonna have to go into one of those older, more difficult strats where you'd have to get that garage control. You'd have to get the lounge control as well. Go below, open the floor. But I mean, it can work out for them as we head into our next ban. Could be Cade. Now, I'm not really surprised about this. Force a bandit trick. It's pretty simple. You can get below, force the bandit trick. If you have bottom floor control looking up, they can't get that wall. And also, when you look towards these bottom floors, the hatches as well. They can't electrify the hatches. They have to open them. They have to reinforce them and just hope you don't open them. But Wamai being taken away as well. Utility drain method. That's all I'm going to say for that. But we are going to be heading into this first round of the ESA Siege Contender Series EU. Fact Gaming will be taking attack, and we will see Machine Soldiers taking that CCTV cash room, unsurprisingly, in my opinion. Now, looking at the lineups here, before they get 6-picked, I think this Cali's going to be a switch. Unless we see Fact Gaming looking to stick it, open that cash wall with it, because that can probably take them by surprise. And yeah, it seems Akali's going to be stuck. Goyo will be switched out for a smoke, however, which doesn't surprise me. Both really good at denying the push, just stopping anyone from getting in for that delayed amount of time. And with the smoke, you have the flexibility of where they are used, as we see machine gun starting to set up the site now. Going to see that wall being opened up just a little bit. Very unsurprising, as, you know, it allows the sound to propagate a bit through. And if you're going for the bandit trick, it allows a little bit more. But what I'm expecting to see is a bit of roam here from at least Apex. Maybe Petsu as well. W33, you've kind of got to keep in, or West, I'm going to say. We've got to kind of keep in the site as a Maestro. Definitely keeping in the cams, or at least in rafters. Bandit, obviously, got to be up against the bandit trick, but I'm looking at it, and Apex is the only one that can really roam, so you'd like to see a bit of it from him. We are going to see Katsola going for a quick spawn peek here, but he will fall to Coffee San, who's going to start us off very strong for Fact Gaming, who are wasting absolutely no time. They're going to start opening up this garage and get those angles onto the rafters rotate, which can really just lock that rafters player as soon as you can get in. Looks like the CCTV main wall is going to be taken, but Scatto will be preparing for it with that shield, and like I said, those smoke grenades. It's going to need a fair amount of utility to clear it out. Fashi coming from behind looking, but Wes is able to get a quick kill onto CS, taking away their thermite. The job there is done, and they still have a Havana on the side of Fact, but even now is big, but Petsu's gonna make it another, as Fashi will fall as well. The Cali is taken away. Petsu waiting for just another chance at something, but doesn't look like he's going to get it. Bongo, knowing where he's playing, Machine just have to sit back. They have to sit back, lock down, and relax now. That West will get down by the push coming out from Coffee, who will finish him off. Bongo on support with that bottom floor, but Petsu's coming around for the flank, but he will get picked off. Bongo making short work of him. In fact, Gaming now have that man advantage, which Machine seem to have let slip. Gano, watching this rafters rotate, will be looking just to make something. He spots the drone and looks to just smoke them off. Having the smoke alive at this point is crucial. Jaeger just going to have to play on site now. They can't risk going for a split realistically, but if they did, they'd have to hit their shots. But Scatto able to pick off Coffee. Bongo pushes onto site and goes for the defuse. SM7 holding the angles, making sure they can't push him with the smoke coming out. He will get the plant off, and Sam will get the kill. Apex coming from this metal, able to find off Sam. It's all down to Bongo. Holding the angles, will get the kill. In fact, Gaming take the first round. So, I think key points there. We saw Fact Gaming, they lost those two players. They weren't able to make anything of it realistically. Like, they weren't able to go get those refrags, but they were able to come around, start picking off these defenders and the roamers. And fair play to Bongo, having the sense about him. The player might be flanking from below. They might think that they can catch us off guard. And he was able to pick off Petsu, and being able to just get that kill, get that man advantage so you can go for the push on the site. It makes life so much easier. And we are going to see the same lineup coming out from Fact, and just a little bit of variation from Machine Soldiers here. Valkyrie being taken away for the Goyo. You know, similar role to Smoke here. It's just slow down those attackers and at least drain the utility when they take out those shields, because they have to, otherwise you can pop it and slow them down, and whether or not if you or them take out that shield, it's still going to slow them down. So just having the Goyo on the field itself just makes life a lot easier, and also the uncertainty of whether a portable shield is a Goyo shield or not. And I'm going to see a similar setup. I'd like to see Apex roaming again, collapsing a bit more, maybe the oil pit for the very late roam. I know I said they wouldn't be able to do it before, but the situation might be different. And the second round will be starting off here. In fact, being a little bit more careful. The Machine not wanting to lose Katsola just as early. They're going to leave that spawn peak and just take in. Fashy holding the angles, making sure they can open up this garage wall and get that angle onto the rafters. Bongo are very much aware of the danger of the run-ups. We'll be covering it. Katsola waiting, watching and waiting. Will have to put down those bonus bandit charges. Will he be able to stop the Thermite? No, he will not. And the CCTV wall is opened within a minute. And that's a pretty good time for these attackers. Bongo's burning the ADSs on Wes now. Gonna have to fall back, but will start to get shot. Will be able to escape, however, with his life. Droning will be coming out now. Holding a very nice small angle. Will be Wes as he picks off that drone. They know where he is. He hears the barbed wire being taken. Watching the angle. Waiting for this push. Another drone will come out. Wes just unable to get the kill to the attacker there. Looks like Coffee Stan unable to get the kill, and Bongo watching. They know that if he moves, because Bongo and SM will get that kill. Rest of Fat Gaming starts pushing in as the utility's going out, and West will fall. Opening things up as SM finds another one from this balcony. Machine, they have to hold that cache area. They've lost control of CC. CS could go for a plan, but remember that Goyo can come around. Might have that C4 still, so that is a very real risk. And the smoke, there you see it, getting that rotate. Scatter's watching as well. Bongo able to pick off Apex, watching that flank as well. Things just aren't going the way of Machine soldiers right now. As fact, looking very strong on this clubhouse. Scatter goes to peak, but SM will find a third kill. Hetsu on his own will get the C4 out. Able to, would have been able to get a kill, but Fashy pushed up and finished him off with that CZ. And the second round in a row going to Fact Gaming. Now, being able to pin down, now a lot of things in there were kind of key. I think being able to pin down Wes so hard for so long in that rafters area was it, honestly. Being able to have him just stuck, not able to do anything with those machine guns and not even get on his cameras and just give information to his team. Being able to shut that out was crucial, but then SM was able to just pick him off from that balcony, doing incredible work. But we are going to be heading to the bottom floor site now. You know, I'm a very strong advocate for it doesn't work twice. Going there again, you know, you've lost the first round. The second round, you tried to adapt to what the other team did, but you're not going to get anything out of it. Going a third time, it's giving them a free round. And Fact Gaming, that's what they want. They want a free round. We are going to see a top floor hold coming out from Machine, actually, which I do quite like to see. Forcing a roam clear, slowing down, most importantly, these attackers, making them drain time just so that they can push. I really like seeing that.
5 seconds left.
So round starts. See, you know, we'll see a very strong roam presence, seeing Hetsu and Apex both on that bottom floor alone. Fact Gaming still bringing the Kali here, which is a very interesting choice. Shot not really going out onto those main stairs. As this dirt tunnel is going to be opened up, and this is where Callie is really going to excel, because you can take advantage of some of those longer angles if you want to put her there. But looks like she's going to be heading for this kitchen site. Helping her team open everything up. SM just coming around, but the impact trick from Apex will just about shut down Cabana. He's going to look for another here, but will actually look for the shots. Cabana charge will go off, but get impact tricked. But Coffee finds a kill. The only thing more important than shutting it down, Mozzie has fallen, and Coffee San looks for another. Spraying through the wall, looks for Wes, but is unable to get him. He will escape over to that CC area. And Coffee on his own. Oh, Cat Solar. I do beg your pardon there. It's going to be holding the angle, trying to just distract this team here. But the kitchen hatch has been open. Wes waiting for one of those late flanks, which you very much indeed love to see. And Bongo covering some angles to protect, but Fashy getting tagged up from below. Just sees the body of Apex. Unable to get the kill. Will finish him off now, however. And just looking for just another thing. Now this is also where Kylie's going to excel, because you can shut down those areas with that one hit. And CS positioned really nicely, getting some drones in that dirt tunnel. Will spot Tetsu looking for the kill. However, Wes coming around for this flank. Coffee San, if you peek now, you can get a free kill. And Bongo and Coffee setting up the crossfire will pick him off. Coffee getting the kill, but CS is down. Tetsu able to drop him. Looks to just finish him off, but the C4 from Cat Solar picks off SM as CS will fall. And it's down to a 3v2. A much better position for Machine to be in now, but they've lost that complete top floor control with the death of their roamers. Fat Gaming, they know they have the advantage, just taking it slow now. Coffee San holding that long angle, making sure nobody comes out. As the drop comes out from Bongo, the plant starts to go down. Katsola has to swing. Has to go for it. Able to pick him off and stop this plant with 15 seconds left. It's a 2v2. Coffee San and Fashy pushing it to side. Tetsu will shoot. Coffee San finds him. It's all down to Katsola. And the TK. That's not what you want to see with 5 seconds left. Coffee has to go for the kill. And he gets it. Katsola nearly getting Machine their first round, but unable to do so. Coffee San just able to walk in and tear apart this team so far. And honestly, looking at this, not really sure where Machine Soldiers could have gone wrong, I think, or could have done it any better. They were able to get some kills, able to get some trades. West fell really quickly, unfortunately for them, but they were able to bring it down to a 2v1. Now, I say a 2v1 because the TK, that's not really Machine Soldiers doing. You love to see it if you're on their lineup, but that wasn't what they did. So it was a 1v2. They were able to bring it down to a very good time. I think it just comes down to winning some of these gunfights and just picking the fights a little bit better. Apex contesting up an upstairs angle from that kitchen, from that area by the B-bomb site. Maybe not the play. However, Machine Soldiers are going to go for a second attempt. As we see a little bit more roaming again, looks like Katsola's going to be spawn peeking, but or at least baiting it because the drone saw him. You don't really want the spawn peek if you've been spotted, but he will be going out. Again, we've seen it happen once, unable to make it work, and will tag up Coffee, but will just have to fall back. It's a long angle, you're not going to win, and if you know that they're bringing a Cali, they only need the one hit. Now we will see Katsola returning to those metal stairs, and Wes bringing this Maestro now, probably just to give a little bit more utility denial, and just give Fact Gaming the awareness they're being watched. Third tunnel yet again will be opened up with the diffuser down in open view of kitchen. for anyone to take, but Petsu will find the first kill, shutting down Coffee-san. One of the definitely the most prolific fraggers that I've seen on Fact so far, alongside SM. Being able to get that is huge. Kitchen control firmly in the hand of Fact as they look to open this hatch and the rest of the floor. But Scatto was able to find another kill, bringing it down to a 3v5. Taking away, most importantly, the Cali to the longer ranges, but CS finds Petsu and shuts that man down. Finally, going to be able to open up this hatch. Going to make life a lot easier here for Fact Gaming, but there's a lot of time gone off the clock here, and they are still at a man disadvantage. CS looking at these angles, looking for something, but Scatto's waiting and finds the kill in a very nice peek. Fact Gaming down to only Bongo and SM now. We've seen some incredible plays come out so far. I think we could definitely see them pull this off, but the reins are firmly in Machine Soldier's control at the moment. Fact Gaming slow things down, just look to take some time, work with their advantage. Or disadvantage, sorry, but the C4 comes out and SM will get downed, but without points on, Machine don't know. SM will get revived and will be able to contest the angles, but Katsola pushing up will get the kill. Looks for another, possibly going to play a bit too aggressive, but Bongo knows. But Katsola gets it and gives Machine Soldiers their first round. And I think that's definitely what Machine Soldiers should have done. They should have just played downstairs a little bit more. Yes, like I said, I enjoyed seeing that top floor roam. Katsola played quite aggressive, but it worked to their favor. He was able to just back them off, say, right, we are holding this area. We're going to kill you if you don't deal with us properly. So, you know, it worked out quite well. There's always that pressure being applied. Yes, he was able to back off, but constantly on that main stairs, yet again, just making Fact very uncomfortable, and you cannot discredit how important that is. But the gym bedroom site is where we're going to be heading to, and the clash coming out is quite interesting for me, because clash can be used just to shut down some of these doors, call out information, and you need to commit utility and bodies to actually deal with it. You need to have at least two people, there's a fear or flashbangs, to get that Clash's shield away, and then you also need to hit your shots. It requires a lot of coordination and a lot of utility to get rid of a Clash. So seeing that, as well as the Jaeger and the Castle just draining the utility of this Fact side, I'm looking forward to how this round plays out, to be honest. But looking at the Fact lineup, not much variation there. They've brought an IQ instead of a Kali now. It's stopped really working out for them. I think we can see a CCTV side take, because they don't have anyone to clear out that Jacuzzi side. They don't have a Twitch, or they can't go below with that IQ, take those bandit charges. So definitely a CCTV push, if you ask me. However, we will see Fact Gaming their move. And yeah, garage control firmly in the hands of Fact Gaming as they start pushing out and see Claymores go down. The drones are out, giving the information for some of these Machine players. But with the ADS, SM decides against throwing a grenade over. Drones going in will be picked off, but Fact Gaming know that they have to push through at least one area, through a kill zone. Machine are definitely bunkering in here. SM will try this nade. It will go over. Won't get a kill though, but it will tag up Wes really, really heavily. And so will Coffee, who looks to finish the kill. The hard breach is coming out, going to start pinning Wes in, but Petsu's coming to support now. Bongo looks for the kill on Wes, will find it. Petsu on his own now, but Katsola already rotated around. Apex finds the trade onto Bongo here. And now Petsu just has to hold. They've got Fact Gaming right where they want them. They're gonna have to head around or behind. It's gonna be quite difficult, really, for Fact Gaming. They have to push through or head to those main stairs. And it looks like we are going to see Fashi trying to lead the charge. The drone's going out, making sure that Clash is still there. As they head around to the construction window, she's going to just back off to the door. They have to play with time here, Machine. So just holding there, using that Clash just to slow them down, that's going to be crucial. Shots will ring out as the bedroom window is opened up, but Petsu there to give the information as per usual. Scatto watching his back, but Coffee Sands coming behind. In the office hatches where they're dropping. Coffee will find the kill onto Scatto, but gets traded out by Apex. Apex looks for another one, able to pick off SM, and just shutting down Fact Gaming here. They're down to 2 players. Oh, Apex finds a fourth actually, and looks for the 5th. Fashi on that bedroom window could be his ace, or could be one of his team's kills. Apex, unable to get the kill, will fall to Fashi. He's going to head back to the construction, but he still has Clash to deal with alongside Katsola, who's not afraid to play aggressive. Flash has come out, and Katsola comes and gets the kill, and Machine looking a lot stronger now than they did in those first couple of rounds. Now, you've got to give credit. I personally hate coming up against a Clash, but you've got to give credit to Petsu. He played it to a T. Wes was over in that cash room, was struggling quite a bit, to be honest. You know, struggling quite a bit to get a kill. Yes, he fell in the end, but Petsu was there just to be a brick wall. It's arguably worse than a castle barricade, because you can't just take it out with a Zephyr charge or an Ash charge. You have to kill someone, and you know, Petsu played it to a T, to be honest, just constantly feeding information, and we'll see the IQ switched out for a Yana, which is quite surprising, because now Yana and Oryx are actually in play. Still not seeing much teams utilizing them. Obviously, Oryx, I think, has seen a little bit more play, due to the fact that he can make rotations so much easier. Don't need to bring a shotgun as much in the form of smoke or mute, even though most teams do opt to. And the MP5 as well is such a deadly weapon. He's a really well-rounded defender, in my opinion, if you roam and you commit to the roam, which I think you really have to do, rather than focus on the shields, just the speed of being able to get out the gunfights. So, I think what I'm trying to say here is I'd like to see a Oryx pick come out, but Yana brings frag grenades, a G36 or the ARX, both really nice guns, as well as the 2 drones and the ability to drone herself, because she can just run in, give information, and like a drone, she's dead in one shot. But the fact that it recharges just gives that little bit more information here to Fact Gaming, who are looking to get the drone in and just make sure that they can get this wall open quite quickly. Now, they won both of these sites and one on the bottom floor, so Fact Gaming definitely going to be looking to pull off a win here. Able to open off that one crucial garage barricade, which will allow for them to get those shots, that angle into the rafters, which has seen the death of Wes a number of times. However, we can see Apex waiting on this bottom floor, looking for something, possibly a run out, but Coffin will run into his eyes, gets tagged low, but is able to find the kill, and Apex will fall. And thus, we're not going to see Machine being able to bandit trick as easily now with that downstairs presence, but the bandit charges are there. They're watching the angle. They know that the players are going to try and do this, but the push comes in from the garage. Hetsu able to find Fashi, shutting down that Yana, and most importantly, the frag grenades. And looks like the CCTV wall, for now, is going to be Machine soldiers and will remain closed off. Now, here what I want to see a bit more, Machine, they need to bunker. They know that there's still that Zephyr down there in that stock area, but Scatto is able to pick him off just by holding the angle, and with the way the beams work, it was a lot easier for Scatto to get the kill. But SM, with the nade here, will be looking to open things up, and he will be able to get the bandit charge, but no one's there to open the door. Bongo's rotated, CS has rotated as well. They'll have to come outside, which it looks like they're going to, but there's a minute left on the clock. Fact Gaming going to have to start their push very soon, and Katsola's waiting. He has those bandit charges still, and he will look to trick And he will get the bandit, and he will get the thermite charge. Machine looking very strong here with a man advantage. They still have West on the rafters with the ADS. They're only starting to clear it out now. The Shadow finds Bongo as well. West able to get one, looks for another, and is able to pick him off. And Machine hitting the ground running now, definitely just opening things up, picking up those kills and getting those rounds. And Fact Gaming just walking into the choke points. You see there at the end. Some and CS, they tried to double peek, but they were too close together to get the angle. So West just shot, and we are 3-3 heading into Fact's defensive half. Now, obviously, we're going to be going back to the CCTV room. And a couple of key changes in the Fact lineup that I've seen to the Machine is easily this Mirror and Echo. Typically, two operators you see taken away quite a few times, but the Echo and Mirror very strong and very powerful to have in your lineup. And if they're there, why not take them? You've got the Echo. He has that MP5 SD, which does more damage than Doc and Rooks. So you'd be amiss to knuckle it over and pick a Doc or Rook instead. He's also got the information from those yokai drones, which can shut down plants, they can shut down thermite charges, everything. And then mirror windows. She has a Vector, very high rate of fire, very lethal weapon. The black mirrors, which just allow for... Yes, you can get information from it, but you can also just put off the you can put off the attackers. They don't know someone's playing behind them, but what I'm seeing here, I really like. Now, we see CS, he's put a mirror window at the top of those metal stairs, looking towards the construction door now. Typically, there'll be a rotate, which you can see next to the window, but having the window there, it's constantly got in the attacker's mind that they're playing there. And Fashi going to impact trick these Habana charges will only one will go off, and Scado gonna try and get something. Wes waiting here as the thermite, just for the opportunity to open up this CCTV wall. Not much really happening. The drones will be looking to be used here from Machine.
Bomb has been located.
And Apex will open things up from that CCTV window, picking off the bandit, meaning they can get the charges, they can get the wall open with no problem. The only problems will be the rafters players, but with the impact nade going below, or the nade getting those bandit charges, that wall will be open with no problems. Bongo and Coffee both going to be looking at this breach now, but Machine, they've got a pretty good start. They've got a pretty good position to be in. You know, I'd probably take them to pick off this round from picking off the bandits so early, unless we see Machine Fact Gaming pull off something incredible. Hetsu going to be using her drone, pushing in, just getting that information. Not even using his ability. The thermite charge will be used, and the construction wall will be open. Hetsu will pick off CS's face, starting to even things out, and Machine, very strong position. Coffsan playing behind that window, but as Fashi is able to find a trade. Nice shot coming out from Apex here. And honestly, I think it was. And we can see Gemini will be taken out, but the Habana charge will be looking to pick off this mirror window. And Bongo will be pushed off. Now, using the FMG9 is quite impressive. Oh, the window is still up for some reason. I'm not really sure what happened there, to be honest. But drones coming out, 45 seconds on the clock. Machine are going to have to start their push very soon as Scado finds Fashi. Smoke charge coming out will land over by the construction breach. Very nice smoke charge. Now we see Bongo, the most useful. He's going to get around at the very end here as he picks off another Gemini off Petsu. More drones coming out as Coffee-san looks to make something, but Katsola pushing in as Scado finds the kill. It's all down to Bongo, and he gets picked off easily by Katsola. And Machine Soldiers, yeah, picking off the bandit, being able to open up that breach as we see the sledgehammer gun, a absolute classic and arguably my favorite weapon picking off Bongo there, being able to open up that breach, pick off the bandit so early, get that breach open. It just gave Machine the round, in my opinion, because the angles you had by opening that and the pressure you put, because yes, you may have started to rotate around, but you can always have one of the attackers just head around back to that breach. That, you can never be certain there's nobody there unless you have information. And Bongo, in those last 30 seconds, I'm pretty sure he didn't have any. So unfortunately, the bandit being taken out so early, the wall being open, just shut things down. And then Petsu being able to just push up and pick off the mirror. CS, that opened up a lot of things as well, because cash control was effectively theirs. They had the window, angle the rafters, rotate. They had everything they needed just to swarm around Bongo. But we will see Machine giving it another go here. As we see, a similar lineup, not much different on either side. We will see Katsola, picking up the Ash, and Petsu with the Sledge, which isn't very surprising. Not really shocked to see this being the case as of now. Looking at this, I'd quite like to see Machine employ a similar strategy. Pick off the bandit early if you can. However, Fact Gaming, if you want to win this, you have to keep bandits safe. You can't lose him that early, peeking that window, because like I've just been talking about, it cost them the round. And there we go, Pre-Fire's coming out the window just to put them off, pushing up. As we see Sand playing below, looking to shut down anything there. Katsola, I keep getting it wrong. His name is Cat now. I think that's the best way to go. And Petsu gonna be looking to nade out, but the Yokai will actually hit him. Nade will go out, however, and get those bandit charges. The Thermite will be open. Bandit is still alive, but not there to do anything. SM wanting to stay alive, very important to their success of this round. However, Petsu being able to get Bongo, being able to give Wes the ability to open that wall so quickly is crucial. Sand coming for rotate around. So we hear the office hatch has opened up and starting to be droned. With Katsola in that gym, they know they only have to worry about the construction, bedroom, and stairs area. And most importantly, the stairs, because we'll probably be seeing Petsu droning out bedroom. Bongo yet again playing behind this mirror window. With Coffin playing underneath, that's not really surprising. He knows that somebody's there. If he starts to get pushed, he calls it out. Someone comes behind and shuts them down. Tetsu just going to be waiting, watching these angles, waiting for any potential flank. As the bandit trick will successfully come out, and Bongo picks off Katsola. Getting a bit aggressive there, trying to pick off the bandit. Coffin able to pick up a kill. Apex will find one of his own, however. And being able to pick off CS, take away the mirror, and at least the C4. That's pretty damn cool, in my opinion. Apex able to find another kill, able to even it out now into a 3v3. Coffin Sam able to get the diffuser, but gets traded by Scato, who will get that diffuser back himself. Now it's just down to Bongo and SM with 45 seconds on the clock. Apex begin this breach. Looking for the kill, the Pre-Fire comes out but doesn't find the head of Bongo. He knows he just has to wait. Able to find SM, finds one. Bongo getting the trade. He doesn't know. Scato going for the plant. The ping is coming out, however, they know the smoke grenade is coming out just to tag him up. The plant will go down. Scato gonna play quite aggressive here, going into the door, and Bongo picks him off. And Machine, they take it 3-5. And honestly, I really like the roaming from Coffee. Able to just come up when his team needed him. Open everything up, in my opinion. Just the ability to... the ability to have those callouts come out. And have the player come behind and just get some kills. Like I was talking about, we had Bongo on those metal stairs with the mirror window. If he started being pushed from metal, he say, Coffee, I need help. Come around. And luckily for Bongo, he was able to just pick off Scato. pushed very much, I think, a bit too aggressive in that post-plan scenario. Probably play back, go to the breach, wait until time runs out. They have to go for the plan. Just hold your angles, get a drone on it. I think that probably would have been the play from Scado. However, you know, unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be, and Machine will be taking this. In fact, Gaming will be taking this bottom floor, and I know I got it a little bit wrong. It is 4-4 at the moment. I am a little tired, that's all I'm going to say. So, and it's my first time solo casting, so we'll give it a go. Now, quite unsurprising setup here. Nice bit of rotations into that B bomb site and into blue for CS there. Going to be able to open up an angle into actual armory as well. A lot of sightlines and the fluidity of roaming is definitely the ideal way to play this site, in my opinion. Have a roamer or two just to slow them down. Have that impact, those impacts nades, which you can see on Fashy ready. But it looks like Dirt Tunnel is going to be opened up. West's going to be opening that up quite quickly just to put a bit of pressure on, because it looks like they're going to rotate to that kitchen. SM playing nearby. By enough as Catsola have to clear this main lobby with no problems. Fashy waiting here with those impact nades. Probably going to be used in case the charge now. C4 will go off for Catsola, but doesn't get the kill. Petsu just opening everything up here. They don't need to wait. IQ scanner will be coming out. Just spotting all of these defenders now, giving as much information as he can to his team. His Machine looks to pick up another round. Impact trick will go successfully, but we can see Scado there ready with another. But Fashy able to pick off Petsu. That's the sledge and the frag grenade. He's gone. He looks for another. Unable to get it through this area. His job is done, however. He can play it a little safe, but the hatch is open. And Scado not going to peek that window. He knows someone's going to be looking there. And the drone coming out from Catsola going to give away the position. Fashy just not picking it off. And Machine, they know they've got time. They know they have a lot of advantages. So they're just playing it slow. CS. Ooh, I like seeing the Warden playing down here so that he can just live safe behind this shield. And they can't flash or smoke him out. In fact, they'll be doing him a favor. Flashbang comes out. Warden will fall back just for a little bit. Has that shotgun just waiting, holding that tight angle. He does get droned out, but with the shotgun, he knows they're going to have to come to him. Warden Gadget will be used, and looks like they're going to start concussing him out. Apex able to find the kill, and opening up the tunnel. They're going to be looking for more, but Coffee's able to pick off Catsola. He's going to open up a lot. Scato on his own on these main stairs. He's going to be waiting for something. SM going to get C4 out, unable to get the kill, but gives a lot of information there. And Scato able to get the kill onto Fashy, but he knows the bandit's playing nearby, who will pick him off. Rotating back on the side now. Only one attacker left as Bongo finds a kill. And Wes, you're on your own. Shots are coming everywhere, and it just wasn't meant to be. Unfortunately there for Machine Soldiers, I think they were being picked off a bit too easily. I think there wasn't anyone there for the refrag. Whereas Machine Soldiers, they were able to do that. Or Fact Gaming, they were able to do that. You saw as soon as Fashy died, you had SM coming around on that bandit. And we are going to be heading to the gym bedroom site for Fact Gaming's defense now. And I'm quite interested to see how they're playing this, because they're not using the Clash as predominantly in their play style. So probably looking for more of the mechanical kills, drawing the attackers into their lines of sight, their web, if you will, and just getting those dang kills. As we see the team set up now, we'll see what they're planning to do, but I'm expecting a strong defense here from Fact. They've seemed to know what they want to achieve on each of these sites so far, so I'm looking forward to see how they play it. And as we see the setup coming out, we're gonna, not surprisingly, we're gonna see the castle setup being used. You know, it's pretty typical to see, and having a castle barricade over by that cache just to further bunker and just slow down Machine as they have to take it out is going to be key. And ooh, I'm enjoying that I'm seeing a mirror being used just to open up these longer angles and just make it more and more difficult. That's cheering me up quite a bit. Apex able to pick off the first kill onto Koffisan, however. A bit too aggressive maybe. Down in oil pit, waiting for a kill, and Machine able to get that. With Machine able to get the opening pick, they can play time now. They can start to just go for those refrags. They don't need to worry about losing the early fights. They can lose a player as long as they get the second, and Katsola will be able to pick off Fashi. CS going for the refrag, and the C4 goes out, but it doesn't find anything. Katsola looks to punish him for this, but he will fall to CS, who goes for the run out. Unable to get a second kill, will fall to Apex, who will get peeked out just by Bongo. He's just looking to do something here. Both of these defenders off site. SM falls, but Bongo gets a quick double with a run out. Very nicely played. Looks for more, but the super shotty wasn't enough. Gatto finishing him off, and Machine Soldiers pick round 10. Well, I know I said I was looking forward to that, and I was thinking we'd see a very strong defensive performance from Fact, but I don't think that was it. Yes, they were able to get the kill onto Katsola, but then you had CS. He jumped out. The Vector, it's really good at close range, but put a little bit more range on it, it's a bit more difficult. They are going to be heading back to the CCTV cache room, and SM being brought will just allow for them to have just a little bit more power on their defensive side. So, you know, I think they can perform well. However, there is nothing written in stone, as that last round proved to me. And we're going to see what looks like the same setup coming here from Fact Gaming. You know, a little bit of variety. Possibly, you know, you've got Coffee, but you've got Bongo playing behind that mirror window on metal. Maybe have Bongo playing a different position, watching the breach, perhaps, or do what, dare I say it, switch CS out for another Roma. You know, they've been cleaning you up when they've been pushing that bedroom, that construction area. They've been able to just get those kills because you've been bottlenecked. So maybe have another Roma play around with Coffee. Don't leave him on his own. You should be good. But we are going to see the round taking place and just starting off as we see, looks like a west side spawn coming out from Machine Soldiers. Katsola, please shoot now. If you shoot now, you can get a free kill maybe. But he's shooting the wrong area, unable to just get that kill, unfortunately. You see Machine taking control of this top floor. Scatto gonna get the prone drop. Will start clearing out ADSs, which aren't there. Looking for something. Probably looking for aggressive play. Apex able to pick off Fashi. Taking away Doc and the ACOG. That is key as this main wall gets opened up. SM rotating around to this area, but with Coffee coming around, Machine Soldiers, they're not inside. They are outside. They are droning out, and they will spot Coffee-san looking to pick off Petsu here. Yeah, Scatto, the information's given. Scatto will try and contest. Coffee-san is below. Just waiting. Scatto looking to get something, just pre-firing through a wall. And it looks like Machine are starting to push inside now. Coffee-san will get spotted on that camera. Shots will ring out as they open the construction wall. Scatto looking for something here, but Coffee, as of yet, holding his position, yet to make a move. Probably learning from that last round when he got picked off really easily. Shots ring out into this cache room now, and we can definitely see Fact Gaming starting to get some pressure put on them as SM will also fall. Coffee, you have to begin your rotate now. Get behind Fact, get behind Machine while they're distracted. Meanwhile, Machine are definitely feeling confident here. They've got their angles set up. They've got crossfires. The information's coming through, but Coffee Sand, this is a nice position. You can spot if anyone goes for this rotate. Doesn't spot it. The player's jumping out or jump. Oh, he will spot Wes jumping in. Able to get the kill. Will just run away, come back to site. You've got what you needed. Apex. Is it too late? Machine Soldiers in a very good position here. Smoke charges are going out just to slow them down now, but Scatter's gone below to hunt out Coffee Sand. Looking like he's about to roam, but Katsola finds the kill. Bongo, one of his own before CS gets traded. It's all down to Bongo on metal. He's able to pick off the diffuser, getting another. Holding those metal stairs. He is the player above him, but he knows there's one downstairs. Able to tag up Katsola. Doesn't get the kill, and now he's being pinched. Finds Katsola, and he's played it perfectly to a T. Apex unable to get the diffuser and go to plant. So the jaws of defeat there. Bongo's able to clutch it out from, and this game is incredibly close. Like I thought it would be. I wasn't surprised. I'm not surprised. I thought it would be quite close, and here we are. As we see the church room being possibly the final round that we're going to see if Fact are able to pull this off. Whereas if Mechanical Soldiers or Machine Soldiers, sorry, are able to get this round, we will be going to overtime. And just so you guys do know, if we do go to overtime, we will be watching Fact taking their overtime attack. So we saw them perform really well on their first couple of attack rounds. But then Machine Soldiers really started warming up, started getting their kills and their frags. So they were just able to bring it back to where we are now. I think if we can see Fact go to overtime, if Fact have to go to overtime, I think Machine, now that they're warmed up, I think Machine can possibly take it. But Fact Gaming on this defense, they can perform it. We just need to see Coffee Sand be able to pick up a couple more kills. A bit later roam presence maybe from your roamers, that might give you something, and be able to pick off some of these kills. Now, I do believe that this is Fact's pick, as they have the attack overtime, as it was their choice. So if we go to the second map, it's going to be Coastline. Now, Machine, I really expect them to perform just a bit better, because they're on Fact Gaming's pick right now, and they are toe-to-toe at the moment. So if we see them go to Coastline, we'll see a lot more frag-heavy strats, and that'll be it. But Coffee Sand, looking to get a frag, will be able to. Picks off Petsu, who just didn't check his corners. And I know I wanted later roam, but an early roam pick will never be refused by anyone. Katsola looking just to hopefully catch Coffee off guard, but it's too late. He's already gone. And taking away Sledge, most importantly, taking away the soft destruction is crucial. They have to use Zephyr if they want to open up that floor now. And that's going to be difficult. Bongo able to pick off Scatto, however. Now they haven't got any hard breach either. That's going to make life just a little bit more difficult here for Machine Soldiers. They're able to use some of these breaching charges to open up the floor, but they're not going to get the hatches. They're going to have to go through the famous bottlenecks of this site. You have to have more than one angle of attack. So we're going to have to see Machine split if they really want to win this round. Yes, we could see Machine holding their angles, just opening up more and more of this site. But West is able to is felled, and so the final hard breacher of Machine is gone. Apex is going to be looking for something, going to look to head down this blue area, but Coffee Sand's playing that might make it a bit more difficult. Machine looking a bit unsure of themselves. They don't really have anything to do. You know, he's going to be looking to come around now. The defenders can hear, and they will be for this kill if need be, but it's only Apex and Katsola. Fashi will get tagged up, but will not fall. Katsola full HP, but Coffee Sand picks off Apex. The rest of the looking for kills, but Katsola's able to pick one off. Looks for more, but he's still got 3 more to get. 4 more to get if he wants to save this map for Machine Soldiers. He'll start ringing out, but the crossfire has been set up, and he will fall. And Fact Gaming take map 1. And I think definitely being able to pick off Habana so quickly was the round-winning kill, I think, because they had to bring Wes around. And having to bring that Thermite around when I think it's quite clear he wasn't their primary hard breacher. It was all down to Scatto, go around, get everything open, we have Wes just in case. Having to bring Wes around really makes life a lot more difficult, because then it's a lot more easier, there's more information, it takes more time planting it, and most importantly, he has to expose himself, so getting those kills, it's not really very fun. But we are going to be heading to Coastline for our second map. We are going to be taking a short 5-minute break just before that, so make sure not to go anywhere. And Fact Gaming take Clubhouse. Hello and welcome back to the ESA Siege Contender Series. I am McCready and I am joined here actually by Keg. How are you doing, man?
Hello! Yeah, it feels good to be on the other side of the giant pond right now. Usually I don't really cast too much EU stuff, but it's really good to be here a little last minute, but, these are some teams that I'm really excited to see, McCready.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here. Now, just to catch you up for you and anyone who hasn't been here before, Fact Gaming are going up against Machine Soldiers, and later we will have Regnant up against Mako. But in the first match, which we've just seen, Fact Gaming were able to take it 7-5 on Clubhouse against Machine, and we are heading into Machine's pick, which is going to be Coastline. So, as we go into the bans, why don't you talk us through what we're looking at and what you're expecting to see?
Well, I think that's a very interesting point that you bring up about, talking about the bands because it's a little frozen for me right now. But we're going in the coastline, so I think, when we see operator bans, we're going to see definitely something to slow down a very aggressive attack. In this day and age, usually we're seeing coastline being one of the few really, really attacker centric maps. It's hard to say in a game like Siege that's attacker sided because naturally a game that's tactically like Siege is defender sided naturally, but coastline is pretty much the closest to an exception we have. And I think we're going to see some really aggressive plays come out from Fact. Now, keep in mind, Fact also chose to go for overtime on attack as well. And with them not having a single win under their belt in the contender series, they really need to play the best of their ability in order to bring it back.
Yeah, after picking off that first clubhouse, I'm gonna catch you up on the bans here as we go into Machine Soldier's final ban. We've had Capital and Buck, and Goyo's just been taken off the field as well.
Goyo, Capital, and Buck. So it sounds like a lot of well, with Capital, you're definitely getting rid of like a lot of AoE, fire denial damage. And then you're also getting rid of a lot of visual denial as well with the smoke bolts. But that's also a really good indicator that the defending team wants to bring out OMI because usually Capital can kind of be 50-50 of whether or not it's effective against the OMI because that fire and smoke bolts, they can go all over the place and it's unpredictable. And of course, the bug, I think it should be without saying that it's going to be denying a lot of vertical play as well. The sledge will still be on the board, but it's going to limit the options that Fact Gaming has, especially going to, say, Blue Bar or even Kitchen, might be just a smidgen more difficult for them to take.
And, Sledge can't open the wall above him. You're going to need Josephia or somebody like an IQ to shoot up. But we are going to head into the first round, which will be, and you will be completely shocked, Keck, to hear this, but it's going to be Hooker side.
Hookah? What? No, never. Actually, though, on a real note, we are seeing a little bit of a dynamic shift in Coastline with how the sites are being chosen. If you had asked me a year ago, the lineup would have been Penthouse, Hookah, then Kitchen, but now we're seeing pretty much the Hookah, Kitchen, and then sometimes it's a kind of a toss-up between Blue Bar and Kitchen, but mostly it goes in that descending order, with Penthouse almost never being chosen anymore.
Yeah, personally, I found it goes in the order of Hookah, Kitchen, Double Bar. Some teams tend to pick that Double Bar instead of Kitchen second, just to throw them off, or you'll see a Kitchen in front of Hookah. Sometimes you'll see that, but we're not going to today. We will see the Hookah setup coming out. A Maestro on the field. Obviously, I don't really need to talk about the importance of those Evil Eyes and the Older, but I can expect to see a bit of roaming coming out from Apex, who's proven that he can get those frags on his own when he needs to.
Absolutely. Now, it's going to be a little bit difficult to do some analysis because unfortunately, I can't see the game at all, but definitely the Alda and the Maestro Evil Eyes will bring a lot of utility to the site, especially on Hookah, where there's a lot of smoke grenades that usually come out from Aqua's side. And if there's a smoke on the board as well, that's helping a little bit with the visual denial as well for the defending side to see past their own smoke grenades, so at least they have a little bit of leverage over the situation.
And as the round kicks off, you should be able to just have a look at what we're seeing now. But we've got Coffee Sen, a pretty prolific fragger in that first game. He's going to be in that office area. Rasting on a very nice pixel, spots the feet of SM, who will just fall off. No shots will ring out, but Bongo on his own in this Hall of Fame area. The VIP cam from Katsola really going to just give information to his team here and looking to pick off some of these Fact Gaming players.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if you're the attackers, you need to figure out exactly what you want to do and form together. Because again, Fact has a lot on the board, and right away we do see Rast taking down Coffee and a double kill to go along with it. That's not a great position you want to be in, especially when you chose attack first. It seems like right now, a lot of Machine knows exactly what they're doing on this roam, and losing already your two top leading fraggers and your soft breach utility is a terrible sign.
Yeah, when you lose to Fear and Ash, it's never a good sign, but Katsola's coming in for the kill. He's a shark in the water, and he smells blood. Holding a nice angle from this courtyard area. The team calling out these repels of final couple of players, but Rastin's able to pick off CS from that big window with that SMG-11. Push coming out from SM, and Aqua's able to find Wes for Bongo all alone in this VIP. The defenders know the positions now, and they still have that man advantage, but SM's doing something to change that, as Petsu will fall. Bongo gets taken out by Katsola with the Deagle and Apex, making short work of SM, and the first round going in favor of Machine.
Yeah, that was a pretty runaway round, I think, from Machine's side. We did see SM put in a lot of damage onto Aqua side, going all the way through both bomb sites, all things considered. But even then, it just didn't really bring a lot back home. He did get 2 kills, and I believe those were the only 2 kills on the board for Fact Gaming's side. So that is good, but unfortunately, the rest of the team needs to step it up in this next round. Now, we do have the Mira ban again. I'm not sure if we touched on that during the ban phase too much, but Mira, of course, usually has almost like a 100% ban rate at this point in any competitive league that you're in, and there's a good reason for it as well. But seeing these attackers come out again, we do have the Jackal pick, which is usually seldom seen at this point, but it's starting to make a little bit more of a comeback again. It kind of comes in and out in waves. And they do lose the Ashe this time around. I believe Fashy last time was playing the Ashe before getting picked off. So I think going for a little bit more of a slower, more roam clear centric attack is probably what Fact needs to do to take Blue Bar, especially from the top using Zofia.
Yeah, I think with the speed that Coffee and Fashy got picked off, that you're onto a winner there. And we're going to see a Maestro camera outside in this courtyard to cover as they open. I'm assuming they're going to open up the floor level of that Blue Bar, which you can see partially done there, as this round will start off. Now, a lot of roam presence here. Apex putting barbed wire down by that main stairs. Petsu and Rastin, the only ones really on site here. And I do believe that there is a substitute coming out, because I don't remember Rastin in the first game, to be honest.
And we do see a very aggressive start from Coffee Sen, going down cool vibes already. He might meet up a little bit with W35, but it looks like he just wants to get that vertical play down on the B site. And now keep in mind, with that vertical play, that's going to be really huge to get that pick onto the mute if Zofia can find that perfect angle. But it looks like right away they're going to stall a little bit and waiting for the rest of his gang to come on by to help with the crossfire.
Never mind, though. Coffee is able to pick off Petsu from that hatch angle, and Rastin, he knows that if he peeks it, he's probably going to catch a bullet as well. So he's just going to back off a little bit, get a C4, and just wait. But Fashy's going to get hard at work here with this secondary shotgun, trying to clear out this couches area. Coffee on cool vibes, waiting a little bit. He knows that he can try and peek, but also knows that Machine are probably waiting for him.
Waiting for him indeed. Petsu has already gone down, and losing your smoke as the first opening pick is a really bad option. That's the one operator you don't want to lose in the beginning, next to maybe the Maestro. And the Valkyrie going down next isn't the worst thing in the world, but it is just a roller coaster right now for Machine's side. Yeah, you've only lost your IQ.
Sorry, man. Rastin's getting killed, but Apex is looking for one. He's able to find Fashy. He's looking to make something more of this. Coffee Sen still on that cool vibe stairs. Very vulnerable to a push from both kitchen and top. But Coffee's able to pick off Apex. It's all down to W35. The Elder can do something, but not today. And he will get picked off.
Yeah, very nice comeback round for Fact Gaming. That they definitely took their attack a lot slower. They played a lot more coordinated with their group from what I had saw. And they actually managed to get most of their kills as, pinches and crossfires against the
Mm.
defenders, and it worked out really well in their favor. Especially losing the smoke right in the beginning is not a position you ever want to be in as a defender. And, losing that huge anchor was just a great snowball effect because Katsola on that Valkyrie went down next. And it was just a snowball because you lost out on a lot of utility and a lot of intel to stall the enemies out where they could just stomp all over you.
Yeah, and I think Apex trying to come around probably should have had a little bit more coordination with W35 because he just sat there and waited for Apex to die, didn't he?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So I think maybe if they coordinated a double peek onto that cool vibe, just two angles, make Coffee really uncomfortable. Might have done something nicer, but we are going to see double bar, the return to double bar and Katsola, reinforcing this stock kitchen area, probably looking to run a bit around that. What do you make of that?
So, I do apologize. We're trying to fix some technical difficulties on my end. So, if you don't mind just to explain to me one more time what happened, I would love to answer.
Basically, Cat Solo's gone to kitchen, and the kitchen wall into stock just reinforced up one off, so it looks like you're going to see a little bit of roam over towards that kitchen area, alongside a bit of a top floor presence, when we can see Cat Solo reinforcing that hatch, which Coffee was able to pick off Petsu from last round.
So I can't really say I see that reinforcement from service too often, especially when the bomb site is on blue bar. But what I think is going on is that it's going to be a huge pre-fire line of sight for Fact Gaming to want to take advantage of. And maybe there's going to be an anchor, possibly, if I had to guess, either an anchor like W35 on Maestro, or maybe even Cat Sola themselves. And yet we do see Maestro hanging out inside service. So I think it's to prevent the pre-fire against him, and so he has a little bit more time to react once those barricades go down. But it doesn't look like Fact Gaming wants to utilize service whatsoever. Again, we're seeing a vertical hold from the looks of it, Coffee Stand already in billiards, and the C4 does go down from below A site. I believe that's going to be Katsola's, but it's not going to connect, unfortunately.
Yeah, top floor control firmly in the hands of Fact Gaming right now, looking to make something of this downstairs and just put some pressure on, most importantly, the defenders, unable to find anything or a kill yet, but just by making these angles, they are able to get pressure down, and Coffee Stand pushing down Cool Vibes will find Rastin, who is going to be the first casualty. Katsola just waiting, can hear, he knows that someone's on those Cool Vibe stairs, he tries to get the shot, but can't get it. Will peek again, unable to find the kill. Coffee's just waiting, he knows what he has to do, the drop comes behind. And Fashi gets tagged, but Coffee will fall. Fashi just waiting now in this courtyard. They know that they've dropped, and he knows they know. W35 and Apex just going to be watching that and just locking him down, so he's in a horrible position as well. While the rest of his team look to do something from the top floor. Hetsu finds a kill. Fashi will fall as well to Apex, and it's suddenly 2v4. Bongo waiting outside the site with SM with nearby. One run out can make hell here, and here we see the deadliness of the smoke keg as the smoke charges start to come out.
The smoke charges are going down. It's a 2v4 situation right now for Fact Gaming. They do have the hard breach on the board, and they still have their IQ, so not all hope is lost. But trying to find those pre-fires, that's going to be going outside. A run out from Apex, taking down SM7, and that is going to spell doom for the Hibana. You're all by yourself. What's up?
Yeah, I don't really see Bongo being able to pull this off. He's on his own. He's got everyone looking at this angle. He's got the angle set up at 30 seconds on the clock. Machine know that this is definitely their round to take. They have the time. They have the angles. Cat Solo will fall, making it a 1v3 now. But he's still, it's a very big uphill climb. He has to try and get behind that shield, but the smoke comes out and finishes him off. And that is Machine Soldiers taking them out with a Maestro kill.
Very nice work. I think that was a much better hold the second time around for Machine. It's been a back and forth when it comes to these round wins. I think this time around, it was a little bit more individual 1-versus-1 play for most of the gunfights that we had seen, but we are seeing Machine Gaming go a little bit more unorthodox with their defense. Just like at the very end there, we did see Apex go for a run-out kill right onto the IQ, and that was a huge pick. That really could have been turned around had that IQ not been gone down, because we did see Bongo right after snap on and pretty much take down 1.5 different people. But unorthodox like plays like that are what you have to do to really secure those wins. And of course, we did mention this a few rounds ago, but the Maestro and the Smoke were still last left alive. And at that point, it's going to be practically impossible to win with the defuse going down. You have to play for those picks. And at a horizontal angle like the Hibana was at, you just can't win in a 1v2 between a versus a Maestro and a Smoke.
Yeah, the time that they can drain, and you have to either kill your Maestro or kill the Smoke, or at least kill the Maestro cameras. It's really difficult to do, and in that situation, yeah, Bongo got a kill onto Katsola, but it was just unwinnable. And we will see what looks like a return to the Hooker side.
Yeah, the hookah site is coming back, and this is going to be really interesting because what we see right now on Fact's attacking side is not prepped at all for hookah. We do see CS on the sledge, and that can be good for the frag grenades. We do have Fashy and Coffee-san as well for that soft breach utility, but there's not a lot to soft breach besides burning the ADSs, and the Hibana is a good choice as well. Hibana's definitely the best hard breacher when it comes to coastline in general. But you don't really have any smoke grenades or really too much anti-visual utility to bring out to get an A plant down. So I'm a little curious to see what's going on. It's definitely a doable setup, but I think it definitely could have been improved a little bit more.
Yeah, I think what we can see here are Fact Gaming looking to work a little bit with, you know, going for individual kills, which we see Coffee tried to get, but Petsu shuts him down. Very low HP, but the kill is secured, so at the very worst, it's going to be just a trade. And SM will fall as well to Rastin as this VIP wall starts to get open. The longer angles going to give Machine, going to give Fact something to work with, and Machine a little bit of a bop on the nose, but with 2 men down, it's not looking very good. Petsu on that scanner looking for just anything, and Katsola, he's still downstairs. He's still got those cameras. He's still feeding his team information. And looking at how at least Apex has been performing, with him still on the field, that's a very big problem here for Machine. For Fact, as they start pushing in, Frag will go out towards the couches area. But Katsola, C4 is able to get a kill. Fact finding Rastin in answer, but Machine still have the men advantage. Only CS and Fashy are alive, and an Ash and a Sledge, like you said, not the most utility-driven operator, so this might be quite hard, but they can get the frag. The push is coming out. Petsu waiting in Apex there to support, but Petsu will fall. Will see CS get downed and finished off by Apex, but W35 shutting down Fashy.
I mean, Machine Soldiers taking another round very fantastically. I mean, like I said before, the operator lineup we saw from Fact was just not correct for Hookah at all. I'm not really sure what they were expecting. Maybe they thought it was going to be a kitchen site push, maybe. But even then, you could have brought out a whole bunch of different operators to help subsidize the utility for burning out ADSs and winning those gunfights better. Even a Ying would have been really good in that situation, though we seldom see her. But overall, just the use of the Katsola's Valkyrie cameras and now Petsu switching over to her really helped out a lot. And I feel like those opening picks from the smoke was capitalized on that vertical play from Office purely because Fact didn't drone out Office and just blindly rushed in.
I think maybe the lineup they had would be more suited towards a heavier penthouse luggage push rather than trying to go around, divide and conquer. Because you saw, you know, Coffee and SM, they got picked off really quickly. But moving on to the next round, we're going to see the Castle and Maestro alongside this Jaeger for this kitchen site. And that's the only thing I think that can make this lineup stronger is a smoke, personally.
Yeah, the smoke has been seen every single round so far, so it's definitely curious to see that we're seeing, I believe, Rastin swap off to the Castle instead of the smoke. We do see Katsola swapping off the Valkyrie as well, going to the Alibi pick. So I think we're looking for a much more aggressive and less linear, pretty much a retake kind of defense, rather than what we've been seeing before, where it's been pretty much turtling for the most part, -1 or 2 roamers. And we do see this being true with a lot of the defenders off this side. We do see Rastin right now reinforcing inside Sunrise. So I'm expecting to see a huge hold from inside there. And pretty much, if I had to take a guess, we're going to see W35 be the only defender inside either bomb site.
But Fashi will open up things here as Rastin falls over in the sunrise, really opening things up for Fat Gaming very early on. Coffee in the office area will be watching for Apex. The drone will be going out, and SM there to help. But if Apex was to swing now, could find Coffee. But doesn't look like he's going to. He's going to hold position. The drone will be taken out, and SM and Coffee looking to take him out together. The push will start to come out. Coffee leading the charge. Apex is waiting, finds one, but doesn't get a second. SM's there immediately for the refrag, and Bongo's able to pick up one as well. Katsola gets the trade onto Fashi, shutting down the Jackal, but not a very heavy trade there. Not a big kill for Fat Gaming here.
It is a 2v3 right now. Machine Gaming does have the score lead, but unfortunately they do not have the man lead right now. And if you had to have 3 different operators on Fact Still Alive, I think your Sledge, Hibana, and IQ are the best options. You do have your lurkers last left alive. You do have Valkyrie and Alibi. That's pretty good, but you lost out on W35's Maestro, and that could be huge, especially if we do go down to the 000 plant situation. Right now, it's a little hard for me to tell, but we do see SM7 inside of Dining, and that's going to be completely unreinforced. The plant goes down, and the C4 connects, it looks like, and that's going to be a double kill. So having your 2 lurkers left alive turned out the payout pretty well, and it's down to a 1v1.
Yeah, Bongo gonna put some flashes through. He knows how important this round is, putting Fat Gaming back in the fight. Petsu trying to bait this defuse, but the bearing knocks with the wrong second and will find the kill onto Petsu. And Fat Gaming take it 2-3. And I just want to talk about, yes, you had those 2 versus 3 as the plan started to go down, but one of your players was also isolated over in Sunrise, so it was realistically a 1 versus 3 on site.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I must have missed that. But yeah, if you're in a 2v3 situation, you need to capitalize on that 3v2 situation. Like, you can't just take individual gunfights, especially in a post-plant situation like that. You need to be able to work with your teammates and take those enemies down. Now, it's not awful. We did see SM7 inside Garden getting that kind of angle towards the Hibana who was planting inside Service, and that was a really good option. Unfortunately, it just wasn't really capitalized a whole lot because we did see a rotate go around from, I believe, from the Valkyrie pick. So again, you just need to be more mindful, and it makes me wonder what those the dead teammates on Fact were doing, because a drone would have solved a lot of the issues that round.
Yeah, leaving it down to a 1v1 when you have the 2-man advantage, or 1-man advantage, you know, that really isn't the play in my opinion. And here we are, we're going to see the Oryx over by Service. So I'm expecting quite aggressive play because he can just jump around. As you can see, really here, the Rima dash allows him to just get out of gunfights so much quicker, which I don't really think is what Yubi expected his role to be, but it definitely helps and brings something unique to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, the Oryx is an interesting pick, and then, you know, funny enough, the new patch notes came out today saying how much they're gonna buff Oryx and how little utilization the developers were concerned about him having. But when it comes to the coastline, I think Oryx is a really good answer because there are so many hatches and so many unique ways to rotate around the map, especially with it being so attacker-sided. You need to get those flanks. You need to get that, you know, trip on the enemy. But right away, we do see a gunfight inside Cool Vibes, and that's just going to be a little bit of gunshots going both ways. But unfortunately, Confisang coming out on the negative end of it, despite having the angle advantage. But the Oryx right now, nowhere to be seen. I'm curious to see where he ended up landing. Ratson's going to be at the bottom of Cool Vibes, waiting for Coffee Stand to go down. But I think his presence enough is going to be enough of a deterrent. But no, instead he's going to aggress forwards. It looks like he wants to get that angle onto Coffee. Now, if Coffee does not push back right now, this could end very badly because the M85 is not something you want to mess with up close. Now, Fashi and SM7 are there to back them up, so it could be a refrag situation, but we have to see this one play out. But again, the Oryx nowhere to be seen right now. Looks like he might be inside a VIP, and yes, he is inside Hall of Fame right now, so that flank could be huge. That's a potential 4K right there for Machine side.
Yeah, Rastin, that playing over by those stairs, he just has to hold, and So does Coffee, but Rastin going for a quick swing. Doesn't get a kill. That shotgun, he's guaranteed to win that gunfight if he can spot Coffee. But like you say, Katsola coming around with the flank. SM just has to turn around and look towards his long, and he can get a kill. Sola, he's sneaking around. Just sees the head of Zofia, finds one, finds Fashi as well. Petsu finds Fashi as well. As we see Katsola jumping out, jumping back into sight now, getting away with that kill, and no answer as Rastin finds yet another. Katsola playing this cool vibe, gonna be looking for SMH, who will just spot the head, looks for the kill and gets it, but it's already a 2 versus 4, and we're in another very difficult position here for Fact Gaming.
Yeah, it's a difficult position for Fact indeed. You're down to a 2v4 once again, and unfortunately, this has been kind of the running theme for their team. Never mind, as we say, that's going to be a 1v4. Now you're down to CS last again, and it's not looking like this gunfight's really going to work out in his favor. Diffuser goes down, he goes down, Fact Gaming goes down with, I believe, a 2-point lead now going in Machine Gaming's favor. Keep in mind, Machine Gaming 1-1 right now in the Contender Series, and Fact Gaming have not won a map so far. It seems like the beginning of each round, they come out really coordinated, and it seems like the end of the round, once that post-plant situation comes around, they're really coordinated. The big issue is just wrangling all the different teammates to do what they need to do in the mid game. And that's where they're struggling the most. And that's where we see Katsola, especially in that last round, capitalizing on most of the kills.
Yeah, and I think the key mistake that led to at least 1 or 2 of those kills, because Katsola was able to pick off Coffee and then just be able to back away, find the Jackal, and just jump out. Being able to do that was nobody was on the drones on the side of Fact. They were just sitting around holding angles. Nobody was watching the flanks. SM didn't check behind, didn't expect the flank, but we are going to head into the defensive half here.
And we'll be going into round number 7 right now. It's going to be the swap between both teams. We are going to be seeing Fact now on the defensive side. And we do see a little bit more of a traditional defense, or at least now a more modern day defense, if that makes any sense, because the Wamai is on the board. Now, I'm curious because we did see the Capitao get banned, so that might be a response because of the Wamai pick that Fact likes to bring out. But we are seeing a much better Hookah attacking side in terms of utility from Machine Gaming's side as well. We do see the Jackal for the roam clear. We do see a little bit more utility able to be burned out from the soft breach. But I'm curious to see about what Bongo's going to bring out with this dock. Not so much his utility, but this European season especially, we have seen some interesting dock holds with the MP5, going from Hookah side all the way into luggage. But it looks like most of it's reinforced. It's all going to be barricaded away. So those long angles won't be happening this time. But we could see some very peculiar first opening picks.
And as we start off the round, we'll see SM holding below in that bar area with a couple of roamers as well. Jaeger will get droned out, and Coffee, he's shown to be very proficient on the Jaeger, will just fall away as he has teammates to support him. The drones will start to come out, but Katsola able to pick off SM as he tries to leave that sunrise bar. Katsola will be able to open things out, especially with the knowledge of Coffee's position and the shark circling around. Apex is able to pick him off and put Fact Gaming down to 3 players already. Now it's just a case of pushing upstairs, clearing out this utility, as you can see Katsola doing now, and just positioning for their attack. Now remember though, they do have that dock and smoke available, so like you said, the hold's going to be good, but Katsola makes the Wamai suffer for trying to peek the G38. He will lose. And now Apex and W35 pushing towards the Aqua area. CS is in a very tight spot. Only Bongo going to be covering his back. And as Patsu goes onto the window, that will make life harder. He looks for the swing, but his head gets removed. And Bongo on his own gets Katsola. But that's only the 1 kill. He has to find 4 more and also stop a plant from going down. The push starts to come out. Zofia charges definitely coming out as the plant will go down. Bongo in a very tough position as we see Sledge come around as well. Rastin will fall. Bongo only has 3 more to get, and a diffuser will go for the run out, but Jackal's there and picks him off.
Yeah, an unfortunate situation for Fact Gaming. I'm not really sure what happened to all those lurkers in the beginning. The roam game was just very off for Fact on their opening side. And it really just brought it down to so much pressure on the anchors. And while we did see Bongo get a few kills on the dog, unfortunately, it just was not enough because he was the only one in the post plant situation. All things considered, and I hate to say it, but it was pretty much only Bongo that really did anything that round. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Wamais did not really even go off. And if they did, it was once or twice, and it didn't really bring much to harm either the defense or the attacking side. We do see Fashy this time, though, going from the Bandit to the Caveira pick, which is
Ooh.
peculiar to say the very least. We don't see Caveira very often, and there's a reason why. Now, the reason why we don't normally see Caveira, and this might seem pretty obvious to a lot of people, but if you're a more rank-centric user or viewer of Siege, you would think Caveira might be one of the best to bring out in a competitive side. But the issue is that normally when you're playing in a competitive match beyond ranked, your teammates are a lot more coordinated and they can bounce off and play off each other for refrags. And that's where Caveira ultimately gets shut down. And that's why she has like almost a 0% pick rate in competitive play. But seeing her come out now makes me think that Fact thinks that maybe Machine does not play off of that and not play off the refrag game, which I think might be a bit of, actually it's a major misplay.
5 seconds left before
Yeah, and I think looking at the roam clear that Machine Soldiers employed in that first round, I think Fact Gaming maybe trying to bunker in a little bit more might be better, but Coffee looking very cheeky here, looking for something, just waiting for someone to come up this aqua balcony. He'll be waiting a while, but the run out comes out. He looks for a kill, but gets shut down, trying to take out both Patsu and W35. And suddenly, Machine Soldiers, they've got the advantage.
Yeah, Machine Soldiers getting that advantage. You're going to be going for a pretty common run out, and it's going to be peaked off really quickly from Petsu. I can't really say it's that much of a surprise, but we got to keep an eye on the Caveira right now because I'm really curious to see what she's trying to bring out here. And she's going to be going through luggage right now, near the run out that we saw the Jaeger bring out, and already going through luggage. That's going to be the peak coming out from roof, and that's going to bring her down. That is really unfortunate, and putting her in a really bad spot to get revived as well. It's going to be the Doc Stim that brings her back up. And from there on, you're essentially trapped. The only way you can rotate around safely will have to be from downstairs, but it's probably swarming with attackers from Machine's side. And it looks like the IQ is going to be playing inside bar from below from the looks of it, and she's going to be rotating around from penthouse. Right now, not really doing a lot to bring to the team. Rostin does get a kill on the SM7, however, and that's going to be a 3v5 in Machine's favor. So pretty much all you have left are your two anchors and your Caveira, who is nowhere to be seen, while the rest of your team is enclosing onto the site. We see two inside Aqua right now, and we have a pinch on the window. That's going to be CS completely trapped, and we do have the Vortex site aiming down into Aqua. Keep in mind, the M12 is not a great gun, and it proves why, because Apex takes down Bashy so quickly. It might be a gun, but if you miss the head, it's going to be a slow rate of fire, and you get punished for it accordingly. Speaking of punished, it's Bongo, last left again in a 1v5 situation. The bomb plant goes down, and he's not able to find any bodies just yet. He's going to rotate around on the cool vibe stairs, and he gets taken down without much of a fight. It's a flawless round coming out from Machine Soldiers, and I hate to break it to you, McCready, but I really didn't see this going any other way. The Caveira pick was such a huge misplay. You could have brought out the Oryx.
I think I would have loved to see the Oryx instead. Try and make that work. I saw Cav, she brought the SMG, probably looking for some of those longer gunfights, but didn't really work out. I definitely think that as soon as Coffee decided to get really aggressive, go for that run out, if you're going to see a couple of targets, you need to commit to the first one you aim at, except you're going to die. But we saw Coffee, he tried to go for two, tried to switch off to one, and then just got removed immediately, and that just shut things down. I think that was definitely where they started to slow down. But being able to pin down CS in the way that MSC were able to, that also just stopped the round for them because they couldn't get their smoke to do anything.
being defused by attackers.
Yeah, just a really bad situation overall, and we do see SM7 going back to the Bandit pick, and that's probably the best overall. We do see actually a huge operator lineup like completely shifting around. Fashy now going to be on the dock. We have Bongo instead of the dock now going to the Valkyrie pick, and this seems much more in line for a typical kitchen defense. You have the Mute watching out for the entryways and, the reinforced walls as well. We do have Fashy on the ACOG, able to revive people, probably going to stick as the only anchor on the site next to the Mute. And then we have the rest of your roaming game with Coffee Sand, SM7 on the Bandit, and Bongo on the Valkyrie. Now, what I'm curious to see is where these Valkyrie cameras go, because the intel game has been really important so far, and Machine has been able to utilize it a lot better.
Yeah, and at the moment, it looks like we are going to see a map 3 as Machine are on actually match point. I didn't realize that. But we are going to see this round start off a nice spread of roamers for Fact Gaming, but with only Bongo on site. I think we can see Machine taking top floor control, shooting down, taking the site, and it looks like they are going to be taking that top floor and be spotted out as they neglect that default camera. So the information's being given, and you can see here that some of the Fact players are starting to rotate around to respond to that. You see Fashy able to cover those cool vibes as Katsola starts to push in. Getting eyes on these bandit charges, will be looking for something, but not neglecting to check the corners. People might be there. You never know, Keg.
Yeah, absolutely, especially checking corners, and that's kind of a big staple of not only the game in general, but I mean in this set, because we've been seeing a lot of lack of intel coming out from Fact's side, and while Machine Gaming hasn't been the best about their droning game either, they're doing a lot better utilizing and playing off the intel they've had on the attack and the defense. But speaking of which, right now, you could also use your eyes as intel and defense, because we do see Rostin using the sledgehammer to completely open up all of VIP, and that's going to be really good to see directly below on the A.
Yeah, the dock was called, and Rastin over there with the sledgehammer to deal with it. SM playing behind couches, will be looking to get something, but will be shot from behind and will fall to Apex. Katsola will find a kill now and almost secure this map for Machine Soldiers. Bongo and Coffee Sand on their own, and nobody's on site. The only people on site is actually Katsola. Bongo is nearby, but will fall very quickly. It's all down to Coffee now in a 1v5. He looks for one, but Apex shuts him out. And we have a map 3, and we will, be going to Consulate.
Consulate is going to be in a very, very interesting match with these teams. Hopefully, Fact Gaming can fix the errors of their ways when it came to especially the beginning part of this game. They only got 2 rounds on the board throughout each, and I don't think they got any rounds at all in the second half. So their attacking game is pretty solid, but they need to work on playing together the most, because we're seeing a lot of very unorthodox defensive holds. Now, keep in mind, I say unorthodox from what you typically see in like the Pro League settings. So it might work for them, but this is a completely different ballpark as well, considering we did see a Fashy inside of Bar, not able to really rotate or move too much besides instant death if he gets caught out. It's not the best position to be in. Yeah. Now, I would like to mention again, it was a little tough for me at the very least to see what was going on for the majority of the game, but hopefully they can just take advantage of the intel the most, because the mechanical skills from both teams aren't bad at all. It's just a matter of not being caught out right away.
Yeah, I think Machine are able to just manipulate how their team and how a round is playing out, just to position themselves to have the refrags, have the information, like distractions as well. We saw that Bandit, he was going towards Sauna, didn't even know he was being shot at from behind. But Keg, we are going to have a map 3, which will be Consulate, and we will be going there after a short break. Be sure not to go anywhere. And Keg, is there anything from you?
I think Consulate's going to be a very interesting match. I'm curious to see how both teams are going to play the garage site, especially given that we've seen some interesting plays as of late in the Pro League. And we know teams like to kind of take off what they like to do as well. So I'm curious to see what kind of interesting flavors we'll see from both sides going forward into map 3.
But we will be waiting just a little bit before map 3, so don't go anywhere. We will be back after a short break. We'll see you in a little bit. Hello and welcome back to the ESA Contender League for the EU. I'm McCready. Joining me is Keg. I'm not going to risk butchering that name. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing really good, McCready. We had a really interesting map to go down between Fact Gaming and I don't know why I keep doing that. Machine Soldiers. And map 3, without a doubt, is going to be very interesting because Fact Gaming, all things considered, have not been having a great contender series, McCready. They've gone 0 and, well, before this last map, 0 and 2. And I believe they're going to be 0 and 3 now. And so
Ooh.
they did win that first map, but actually, so it would still be 0 and 2. They've lost 2 sets so far between 2 different teams, but Machine Soldiers are 1 and 1. So if they win this one out, they'll be positive in their ESA contender KD. But right now, we're going to be going into map number 3, which will be Consulate.
Yeah, and as we have a look at these bands here, I mean, obviously, we're going to expect a Thatcher, and I think we can expect a Mirror over the Echo, purely because of that basement site, and Mirror can be used a bit more aggressively towards the attackers on definitely that top floor site as well. But the first ban is going to be a Buck, so probably for
Ooh.
that top floor site, wouldn't you think?
Absolutely, and I think it's partially a target ban as well because we saw a lot of buck come out from Facts side, yeah, from Facts side map on coastline, and they probably just don't want to deal with that on machine side going into console, especially like you said,
Mm.
piano room is huge when it comes to buck or really any soft breach play. And like you said before, the Thatcher pick is going to be number 2, which I think will telegraph probably Mira being the next one to go down.
Yeah, I think just because the mirror, I've talked about it in the first map when we saw the mirror being used by Fact Gaming, is the fact that you don't have to be behind it to make the attackers think you're behind it. It is still a deterrent whether or not you're there. So unless they have a drone behind you, there's the mirror. It is a very strong deterrent, and with the echo, you at least know you can deal with it with an IQ. You don't have to get behind it to shoot it.
So I'm curious to see what Fact's going to choose next. I think the easy choice would be Echo. A secondary choice would be Valkyrie, but are they going to do something different? And the answer is Goyo! And we did see Goyo go down last map as well. So it must be their normal target ban. I believe it was also Fact Gaming that banned out Goyo in Coastline. So they just might not want to deal with it at all for one reason or another. Goyo is good on Consulate. I wouldn't say he's the best, but he's definitely high up there. But leaving Echo on the board is a very interesting choice, and I'm curious to see if they're going to take advantage of that going to console office. So far, the answer is no, but we could see a 6th pick come down. The only real anchor we have is Smoke with those smoke grenades. Everyone else has the potential to at least hold a very different position on that top floor, or maybe even roam from the 2nd or 3rd floors below.
Now, Keg, I'm going to give you a little bit of background. MSC on their defense, I think we can expect to see them using a clash, specifically Petsu, because we saw it on Clubhouse. They worked it to a T, constantly feeding information, slowing down the attackers and just making them work for every little piece of ground they could get. Now, Consular is a very different map to Clubhouse. There's only 3 ways up from that bottom floor, and realistically only 2 ways into sight, so having a clash just in one of those doorways can just shut so much out. I think definitely expect Machine to do it.
I will take note of that now because I love it when Clash comes out. It is just crazy to see what Clash plays can do, especially on Consulate. Most maps definitely, but Consulate can just be its own breed of either sheer stupidity or just ingenious madness. Bongo right now going to be having that Valkyrie camp go all the way outside. Interesting castle barricade placements. They're going to be shutting down pretty much a B site entry completely. And it's going to only allow a small rotate going in from A site. So if an attacker gets a line of sight from B's stairs, that could completely shut down B site completely and allow a repel to go in and just take the B site. So I'm not sure if they have the foresight to know that that is possible, or maybe I'm missing something. But right away, we already see Rostin go in.
Yeah, speaking of repels, they are on the admin side, and Rostin already in. He's opened the hatch. He's inside that break room, and Bongo is able to pick off Apex. Shutting down that Ash is going to be key because she doesn't have the R4C anymore. The flashbang, the breaching charges, and the sheer speed that can be brought in. Now the Visa stairs will be opened up to get a little bit more of an angle, but Fact Gaming, with that man advantage, know they can play slow, they can play for refrags. And Machine Soldiers, they're going to have to look around, start pushing, and try and change something up a little bit, I think.
Yeah, we do have an admin push right now. It doesn't really seem like the defenders are well aware of what's going on. We do see a few angles going towards admin's direction, but for the most part, it's going towards where that balcony was, where Apex was killed. Now, we do see a few shots coming down from Rastin. That's going to alert the Jaeger pick about maybe there's people on their floor now. I'm curious to see what happens next, and it seems like Bongo wants to go for those pre-fires again. We did see in chat that Bongo did take down Apex through a pre-fire, and the smokes are going to go down and make a huge push for backside.
Yeah, Bongo looked to play aggressive, not really going to be able to with W35 on that balcony window, but the shots will start to ring out, and Bongo will get C4 out and get the kill, and diffusers down. It's now a 3v5 in favor of Fact. Hatsu looking to push this Visa stairs, but Bongo's waiting, will get the kill, and Bongo on an absolute tear, starting out this round in very strong fashion with 3 kills. Katsola coming from behind Coffee in yellow, so Coffee, you know, has to check his back here, looking around, checking his angles, but not the one that counts at the moment. But Katsola, he's looking towards the yellow stairs first. It's a question of who checks the angle first. The pre-fire comes out, but Katsola gets the kill, and bringing it down to a 4v2. Now, Rastin, he's got a lot of work cut ahead of him. He can open that area, but the angles are being watched, and CS finds Katsola. It's all down to Rastin. He will go for the kill, but Fashi will finish him off. And Keg, there's a lot to unpack in that round there.
Yeah, absolutely. We did see kind of a 3-way split push coming out from Machine's side. It was a really solid push in the beginning, but once that pre-fire from Bongo came down, it was a snowball effect because that 1 kill led to 2 and led to a 3rd and completely shut down that admin push. I think once that admin shutdown happened, a lot of Machine side just had no idea what to do. We did see them kind of adjust a little bit by pushing Spiral and Yellow at the same time. The issue with the Spiral and Yellow push, however, is that you don't really have the ability to have someone refrag off of you because there's such linear positions to push from. So if you go down as an attacker pushing Spiral going upstairs, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a double kill as a defender. And the same can be with Yellow, but I mean, with Yellow, I believe it was Katsola who did find the kill onto Coffee Sen, which was a really good pick, but it was just so late into the round, and the Jaeger didn't really bring anything to round 1 enough to warrant it really being a game, a round shifting maneuver.
Speaking of a shift, we will be seeing the lobby piano room being taken as the site, rather than the garage floor, which is easily the go-to secondary site for a lot of teams. But I think that might be pick Machine off, you know, we've caught them off guard with that first round, because after the coastline, I do believe Machine were expecting it to go a little bit more in their favor, as, you know, but then obviously they ran into the brick wall that is Bongo with the MPX, and just lost their players. But a top floor hold, no doubt, for Fact Gaming here.
Yeah, it's an interesting top floor hold. We don't really see the castle too often on this site. I mean, sometimes we do, but definitely not these castle barricades. And I'm curious to see what's really happening, because last time we had Machine push through admin, and it's looking like it's going to be an admin push again, which is where those castle barricades honestly really should be. Now, I understand where he's coming from. It's going to be that main office that he's worried about, but the admin push and the balcony push is the same exact maneuver we saw round number 1. Now, we don't have Bongo playing on inside games room again, so I'm not really sure what the plan is, but a pre-fire again from Bongo is going to be taking down Apex. It seems like Machine really hasn't learned their lesson, McCready.
Yeah, Machine, they shown in the first map, they took a couple of rounds to get their maneuvering and changing to adapt to the situation. It took them a few rounds to get going. Looks like it'll be the same. We'll see Petsu about to peek the same Visa door with the same operator, and Bongo with the shotgun, much better position, but Rastin's able to find a trade, shutting down SM, and most importantly, Petsu finds Fashi. Bongo is there, ready to swing, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the prescribed vibe. No clue why I've said that, but he will be dropping the hatch, looking for a kill, but Rastin's able to pick up another one. Petsu pushing up, Well, Ratsin holding this yellow stairs angle, definitely just catching a number of players off guard. Bongo just, and in fact, having to wait. Now, top floor control is in the favor of Machine at the moment, but as we've just seen now, the site's not there. The site is in Piano Lobby, and if Petsu wants to drop here, he will be running into some gun sites. Picking off the default here. Looks like Machine are going to be slowing down and just taking their advantage for now.
Yeah, it's an interesting play right now from Petsu. It seems like everyone on Fact side is completely gone from the upstairs hold, which again begs the question why Castle put his barricades upstairs and rather not in lobby, especially if it's a top floor hold. That wouldn't really damage the rotations too much if placed in the correct spot, but now you're going to get punished for it because your castle's not only dead, but he didn't really bring much to the round. W35's going to getting that diffuser down, and there's no real defenders that we see ready to take it over or clap it back. Bongo, however, is going to be inside lobby near Spiral. He's going to go down right away, and that's going to be Machine taking round 2 with relative ease.
Yeah, Bongo and CS in the numbers game, Machine Soldiers, they could go for the push. They had the numbers to go for refresh, so don't be afraid to die is definitely the mentality Machine had in that last minute there. They said, right, let's get in, get this. If you die, call them out, we'll get the kill, we'll be fine. And we'll be heading to this garage site. Okay.
Yeah, the garage site will hopefully be a little bit more standard than we saw last round. We don't have the castle come out this time, and that's perfectly fine. But we do have a mute instead of any kind of bandit or a Kaid for garage. Now, the mute can work very well. There is no Thatcher on board because he's banned, no Kali or even a Zofia to take care of any mute charges or, if they had no idea, any potential bandits or Kaids as well. So I'm curious to see. I think because a lot of Machine likes to take admin every single round, I really don't think we're going to see a garage push. I think we're going to see a hit from archives instead and kind of throw Fact in for a loop.
Very much so, and I'm liking seeing this. The mute isn't really surprising, and apologies if you can hear the seagulls outside. I do live near the sea, so
yo, no way, me too.
Unfortunately, at 4 a.m. when I'm trying to sleep and my window's open, I get to listen to the soothing sounds of 100 seagulls.
Oh man, I'm sure it smells great where you're at too with all the seagulls and the fish. No, but I live right next to the ocean too, so I understand your pain, but at least it feels really nice with that sea breeze on your skin. But hey, speaking of sea breeze though, I think Consulate's near the water as well, and I'm curious to see where this attack is going to come in from. We do see it from, I believe, the northwest part of the map, and that's going to signal a garage push, but W35's all by themselves. If they're not intelligent, but if they're have enough foresight and drone it out, they really should be hitting it from garage, especially without the proper utility to really effectively remove the mute unless they go in from above.
I think that will be the play that they need to go for. They can get Rastin, you see him droning in the bathroom, making sure it's clear. He can go in, open up the piano. I think we're seeing Katsola supporting him up top, but gonna see Coffee here waiting. He can hear the players above him. He hears Apex. He knows that he's there, and will we be watching Apex get shut down as the Yokai gets calling him out, and Apex will fall. Coffee-san, low HP, can fall back to site, but gets a stim. He might be going back for more, Kag.
I mean, if you're Coffee right now, you might as well. You got 1 kill on the round. You got pretty much your main rusher, and it's not the first time Apex has been the first one to be the opening pick. This has been 2 rounds now in the 4 rounds that we've had where he's been the 3 rounds where he's been the opening pick. And so, I mean, if you're Apex right now, you need to readjust how you're playing this game because being an Ash and rushing so quickly is not working out. Now, the mute charges are going to go down. That's going to allow the Hibana X-Carrios to open up the garage walls, and that will allow possibly either a split push if they want to continue and push Coffee-san from Visa, or we could see a full-on dedication to garage.
It looks like we are going to see a lot of garage push, but I'm not sure if you saw it earlier, but after Coffee got a kill onto Apex and the stim, he then went to go and do something, but Petsu came in with a very big brain jackal scan, which shut him out of the fight for a bit because he couldn't go contest. They knew where he was. That being said, however, we are watching top floor control going to be key, and Katsola about to walk into Coffee's face. Fashy is able to get a kill, but doesn't shut down W35 as he gets the plant down. Coffee picking off Petsu, looks for more kills, looks for Katsolo, can get the kill just about. It's all down to W35. He has the breach, he has the angles, but the pre-fire comes out, and Fashy finds the kill. The defuse will be coming out, and in fact, Gaming not even losing a player.
Yeah, another flawless round from Fact Gaming. I'm not really sure why Coffee Sand wasn't contested at all. The Jackal pings did come down, and while they may not have lasted the entire round, even then, Coffee Sand was just roaming around like it was nobody's business and eventually made his way through bottom of Spiral. And now here's where I'm really confused about that play from the Jackal. We saw the Yokai drone as well not be invisible and just completely drone out behind the Jackal. Now, that's weird enough on its own, but that would be a great opportunity to remove the Yokai. And if he had turned around and shot it, he at least would have seen Coffee and not get shot in the back. But it just seems like, again, on Machine side, a kind of a not really great droning potential. And while they keep going for admin every single time, I think, especially with Coffee Sen getting that opening pick onto the Ash, I think they're starting to pick up on it. And they need to adjust how they attack admin, or at least consulate, and not keep going the same angle every single time.
Very nice introspective there, and something you did talk about in the last round was Apex maybe wanted to switch something up, but he nearly got the Sophia pick but went back to the Ash, and that, like you've drawn attention to, is something that's just not been working out for Machine. It's really gone to their detriment, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought up the Ash, because, yeah, they have not been playing that great. If we can open up the expanded HUD in a second, I'm pretty sure Apex doesn't have any kills. If he does, he probably has 1 kill so far, and even then, it probably didn't really... Yeah, 0 and 3 so far is not something you want to see with your entry fragger. It's not a great position to be in, and we had seen Apex and W35 do a lot of damage last game as well. So it's a little disappointing to see their attacking game at the beginning of map 3 just not be on the same level that we had seen from them the previous map. But Fact Gaming has really brought it back so far. They have a round lead, and they're doing the same exact castle strat upstairs inside lobby. And while it didn't, I'm sorry, inside console, and while it didn't really work for them on lobby, it did push them back just a tiny bit on that first round, but with attacking admin each and every time, it just hasn't really shown up.
And Bongo will get the first kill, and for once it's not Apex. Rast in the sledge will fall to the Valkyrie, and that's a pretty big kill as well, Keg, because the L85, the frag grenades, that's all gone, and as we see them pushing into the admin area, Bongo can just pull back. He has a kill, he has the time, now it's just a numbers game, as Apex is able to finally find a kill onto Coffee.
Yeah, on top of that, McCready, you also can't use those frag grenades to burn away the ADSs anymore that you can guarantee are going to be on A site. And now there is going to be a little bit of a kerfuffle on the exit of the A site, and no, not going to be contested too much. It's going to be the Jackal pings go down, and on Bongo, and he's essentially trapped.
Yeah, Bongo expecting the push that, so was ready for that, but Katsola very much ready for this. The C4's already gone, so it's gonna have to be a gunfight if Bongo wants to get this kill. But we're seeing Machine adapting now. They're starting to slow down. But Katsola pushing on this stairs does just dodges the shots of Bongo. Won't get the reload, but Petsu's there as well. Apex heading around to this balcony. Will be looking to push and peek with Petsu. But Bongo will drop and will be safe to do so. Very smart play, just getting himself out the fight there.
And we do see the rotates from the castle being really effective this time around. We do have the reinforcements going around, so a lot of those pre-fire spots are not going to work for Machine because of those rotates in the castle, allowing it just be really safe rotations. But with that being said, it's not really affecting the attackers too much because they're psyching themselves out. They're stuck on the balcony, and nothing's really stopping them. That's gonna be Flash taking down Katsola, and a lot of the defenders are now kind of stuck in their own positioning, and that's gonna allow the diffuser to go down.
Yeah, the plan is going down, and Apex is able to pick off Bongo finally. More smoke charges will go out, but he couldn't get the kill. He finally finds it. CS picking off W35. But with the plant down, all the attackers have to do is hold the angles and let them come to them. See Apex using those flash grenades. Will get a shot through connect the window onto SM. looking for more. It's a 2v2. He will get down. It's down to Petsu, who finds Castle. It's now a 1v1. CS has to look for this kill, and with the range, it's definitely Petsu's advantage here. Castle Barricade will come down, and he knows the Ash is down, but he has to play for the Jackal. Time is running out, and it's going past the point of no return. He's going to have to stick it, but he just secures the Ash. It's not going to work out, and CS will fall.
Yeah, in a position like that, I think those castle barricades did help a little bit towards the mid game, but once that post-plant situation came down, it became a really big hindrance because it wouldn't allow anyone on Fact side to really rotate freely until they broke open those castle barricades and just had to push long desk and all of those other spots near spiral to get angles that by then the attackers had mostly gone away. Now that Jackal did play it really smart, the Hibana wall was open in admin and gave a great line of sight to the bomb plant. That's a lot of great foresight that we had seen McCready, and I think that's the main reason why they had won the round, was just they coordinated a lot better and the castle wasn't there to hinder them. Now, like I've been saying, if the castle was placed in admin at all, that would have really stalled out the attacks a lot, or at least, at the very least, made them waste utility. But we just didn't see those castles really get wasted down at all, except for the defenders themselves.
I think if we could probably see a round shift, because Machine, they've just taken that top floor site. They didn't get it the first round. They lost quite emphatically the first round. So being able to take it the second time probably going to give them a lot of momentum. So they have to go there again, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting because it seems like they've definitely scrimmed this site before they've obviously scrimmed this with other teams, and they are not really looking to adjust their play style. And the castle is the thing I keep bringing up the most, but because it's the most site-altering addition to their team, it's really important to take note of where these barricades go down. We're seeing them go pretty much in the same spots. Only one has gone down. That's going to be the entrance of Spiral, and that's going to deny a potential, at least a rush, or even just a really quick line of sight. But we do see it coming down in the same two spots again. We just have to see where that last one goes down, but I'm willing to bet it's going to be on the entrance of B site again. Now, again, that would be a really good place to put down all those barricades if it was a yellow or a B push. But unfortunately, this time around, or every other round we have seen, it's always been an admin push. So I'm not really sure what Fashi wants to get out of this castle still. Speaking of which, Rostin's already inside the site practically. He's already inside admin. He's inside coffee room. So he's pretty much already there. Now Bongo with the C4 again is going to get the opening pick onto Hibana, and that's a really good start.
Yeah, the Hibana, the only hard breach, not going to be able to open up that long angle, which Petsu was able to utilize that last round, so that's going to be key. And just an incredible kill for them to get. Now, shots ringing out onto the balcony. Bongo just dodging the bullets. It's Matrix now. Flashbangs come out, but the Wamai will catch it. Just has to hold position, but the frag comes in from Rastin and will get the kill. It's a 4v4, and with that Spiral castled off, they know that they have time. They don't have to worry about that. They hold their angles now. Start putting Fact on the back foot, which is definitely what's taking place.
Interestingly, no ADSs, it seems, on A site at all. That grenade just went right on in. No Wamais or anything either. Just to straight up take down the Valkyrie. Now, there may have been a Wamai actually on A site, but it just flew right into the Valkyrie's direction, just took her down. But even then, that was such an unnecessary death for Fact side that shouldn't have happened. Now, in their benefit, we do have W35 rocking the Hibana going down. So we can't get that same line of sight plant down that Machine had used last round. So they're going to have to adjust their setup a little bit for attacking this site.
And I'm really excited to see Coffee Sand. He's playing below. He has the line of sight. If someone jumps in through that balcony, which we might see Apex do, he will get that kill. And Apex, quite low HP, going to look to be the first man in. Trying to clear out some of these Wamai charges so a bit more utility can be used. But as Rastin pushes up, looking to just slow down SM and the rest of the players, smoke grenades will come out. Looks like Petsu's going to be pushing into sight, into the smoke, getting that plant down, whereas Rastin finds another kill. CS in effectively a knife fight with him will get down. It's all down to Fashi behind the front desk, looking for the kill, will find Rastin. CS is injured. I think he's going to have to go for the revive here, which he will be able to get, but with the fuser down, time is ticking. Coffee coming down for this flank here. If he
Now-
can get this off, absolutely crucial. Apex will find Fashy though. So now it is a 2v3.
Yeah, Coffee Sand should have been having really loud footsteps going past that hatch, but I think they're too preoccupied by watching Balcony. The last one's alive. Coffee Sand finds one, but couldn't quite find two. Machine Soldiers taking yet another round on the board. It's going to be the first time so far where we've had a team take 2 rounds in a row. And really great adapting around for Machine, able to get that bomb plan down, even with the Hibana being the opening pick. Now, again, I'm sorry,
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
if you're castle, you got to adjust around the site. The castle for the last 3 rounds have done nothing but hurt backside. I really think this could be a 3-2 in Fact's favor, or even a 4-1 had that castle not placed his barricades where they did. If they just knew exactly where they pushed in from, which has been the same for every single round in this half, this could be a very different game. But unfortunately, we won't be seeing that.
Now, there's one thing I do want to draw attention to, which I just about picked up in the start of that round. Apex was able to get a flash grenade in, and that was picked up by the Wamai, the Magna. Now, that was actually able to, essentially in my mind, that was round winning because it opened up the meeting. Bongo was taken away. We've seen how well he could defend that area. Because the flash grenade, the flashbang was picked up by the Wamai. This meant that the nade coming in from Rastin wasn't caught by the Wamai and was able to get the kill. So that was, honestly, I think the round-winning play came from Apex with that flashbang, who is definitely starting to pick up a little bit more.
And I'm really glad you brought that up, McCready, because why wasn't there an ADS in there? In fact, where were the ADSs last round? It makes sense the Wamai is there, but you at least, at the very least, for the beginning of the round plays like that, should have an ADS inside of a site just so an early game grenade can just get burned out. And again, we do see the 3 ADSs inside bathroom. We've been seeing this a lot more lately, where someone with a shotgun will be holding inside a bathroom to deny the hatch and allow them an early rotate and just disrupt a lot of the piano play. We've been seeing that a lot this week, and even earlier, it's been working really effectively well. You're kind of sacrificing yourself when you're that shotgun player, unless you can make your way down that rotate, but it's a huge game of timing.
Coffee Sam playing very aggressive, will take some shots, but finds Apex. A very nice little adjustment to his aim there. Very low HP, however, and now Fashy on that Maestro won't be able to stim him up. Coffee's just going to have to sit back, wait, and hope that he can be a bit more useful in the late game of the round here, I think.
I do want to mention that they are running a Warden this time around in that spot for bathroom. Now, we have before seen mutes and just mute or smoke inside the bathroom area, but the Warden will be able to block a lot of the Zofia concussions, a lot of the Ying Candelas if they were available, or even, regular flash grenades. So it's a really interesting choice and allows a lot of aggressive options in that short corner, but we're not seeing a lot of frag grenades or even smoke grenades on Machine's team, and what we would have seen is already gone.
Yeah, and you can see 3 ADSs in that bathroom area, so easily, Fact, it's time to push out, but the drone's gone in, the team know, Machine Soldiers know that there's nobody playing in there. You can go and clean out the ADSs, and Petsu's able to pick off SM, who exposed himself to the hatch a bit too much, and we can see definitely as Bongo also goes down, the Machine Soldiers are really feeling it so far. The garage wall is going to be opened up as Rastin able to stay alive and get that mute jammer. Looking for some more kills, open some longer angles, but will fall, however, to Coffee Sand. What looks like the 5 HP hero before he gets traded by Petsu. He's looking to make something more of this. Been really well performing on this site so far, and it's down to CS and Fashy. Make that just CS as Katsola comes down Spiral, and CS looks to get something of this.
Yeah, it's gonna be down to a. I'm sorry.
Drone's coming in. I'll let you go in a minute. Don't mind me. But the Yellow Stairs will be picking him off from Petsu, who had a very strong round.
Yeah, very interesting round, all things considered, from the attacking side. They played it really smart by not, because obviously the Thatcher's not there. It's banned. The Zofia does not come out either, and we haven't really seen Machines play the Zofia for the last 2 maps either, which I think is an interesting choice in of itself. Machine likes to play a lot more aggressive, and I think the fact of that being said is that them rushing down archives, which did get knocked down immediately by Coffee San on Apex, but then adjusting around that by attacking a lot of the bathroom, forcing the warden office, positioning back down below, and then taking Visa stairs going down and spiral going down really helped pinch out most of the defense. And you can tell that Fact was not prepared for that maneuver. They were wholly prepared for a garage take, but we had not really seen that for either of the maps so far. It seems like still Fact has a hard time on their defense adjusting around how the other teams like to play, and they just want to stick to the on-paper strategies that they already had. Now, however, we are swapping sides now. It is round 7, so we are seeing a much more standard attacker lineup. We don't have the Sledge anymore, but instead Coffee Stand running the Zofia. Now, we do see the castle coming down again for lobby, and we have W35 actually use the castle barricades going towards admin, and I personally think this is a much smarter hold, and this is the hold that Fashy should have used on his defending side. Now, of course, if it is a B-side hold, this was kind of a lackluster castle setup, but we'll have to wait to see what happens.
I'm liking seeing Petsu down below in piano area, looking for what looks like just aggressive hold of that piano area with that MP5. That's, if he can shut down anyone trying to play below, say there was a buck on the side of Fact Gaming, if he could get that, that would open up a lot of things for Machine Soldiers here, but it looks like that's not going to be the case, and I think we'll see an admin push looking at the lineup.
Now, Petsu Ren, it looks like he's prepped up and ready for any kind of peek. No, oh, actually, yes, gonna find one. That is gonna be CS going down. You lose on your Ash again, the first one to get opening picked, and this has been another running theme of the game so far. Whoever picks Ash usually dies first, not just because they're rushing in, but just because they get caught out and peeked almost immediately. Now, Katsola's in a really dangerous position right now. They're going to be backing up in a safer spot, but it's going to be Coffee that's taken over by, guess what? Coffee.
Yeah, Apex is there to support at the moment over in that area. As we see Katsola drop down, looking to come from a different angle, and most importantly, I want to talk about CS falling immediately and no contest. There was nobody there to support him, like you said. They just positioned themselves around him. His team wasn't there. And Katsola going for the run out, but he can't get anything. He's just going to run back in. Nobody's there to punish him. As we see Fact going for this archive take, they're going to open up behind Apex, and there's nothing he could do about it. Hatsu's going to try and help, but the mute jam is actually going to stop this. Holding the same position Bongo did, just waiting for this push.
Time is slowly going down. We're at a minute 20 left, and only one body's gone across the board. We are seeing this admin push go into more of full effect, and the barbed wire for A site is finally going down. Now, we do see Apex dropping down into lobby, and we might potentially see a flank not only from the castle, but there's no attackers on that side, but we might see one from the Jaeger as well.
I could definitely see a flank coming up Visa stairs, but the smoke grenades canisters are starting to go off here, and Fact Gaming seems to have just slowed down quite a bit. We've got Petsu covering the angle, so Bongo can quite possibly lose his life very quickly, but the smoke charge canisters are doing a little bit of damage. They're just ticking away and slowing them down, and with 39 seconds left, this is key. Another one will go off, and they realize meeting is not going to be where they can push from. So it looks like a long desk push is on the cards. However, Petsu going to be holding this angle as Fashi's able to pick off Rastin. Will fall, however, as Fashi's able to pick him off as well. Apex getting a trade, looking from Connector, but he's the only one on site as Katsola able to pick off Bandit. W35 will fall to Coffee, and it's all down to Apex and Katsola. Apex finding another one, looks to stop this plant by SM, but he can't see where it's going. SM heading around to this long desk, looking for these angles. It's got to play the game of time on his own in a 1v2 now.
The Claymore going down. It's brought that down to a 1v1. There's still plenty of time to get that diffuser down, but where is this Jaeger at? And it looks like you're just holding a really weird angle, not maneuvering or moving around whatsoever, and that's going to be Apex taking down SM, and I don't really know what happened there. It was almost like SM was trying to play the alibi, but you're an IQ and you're on attack. So the reaction time wasn't there, and that's going to be the diffuse going down. And that's another round on the board for Machine Soldiers. That's going to put them almost a round away from match point on map number 3. So that's going to be set point pretty soon. if Fact cannot change themselves around.
Mm.
They have 2 points on the board so far, and this is about what we saw on the last map as well. Now, we can't really speak on, or at least I personally can't speak on map number 1, but so far they haven't broken that 3-round streak yet.
So, Keg, would you believe me if I said it was tit for tat until Fact hit match point? It was.
It's I, I mean, I can believe it. Yes. I believe the first map was Clubhouse, right?
Yeah, and it was also Fact pick, so unsurprisingly, they did show quite strong, especially at the start. But then, Machine Soldiers were able to start picking up and start adjusting, and that's definitely, I think, where they've been a cut above Fact at the moment.
You know, I completely agree with you, McCready. I think Fact so far has proven themselves to be a really strategic team with pen on paper style. They're good at coming up with these strategies. They're good at finding out what they think works for maybe scrims. The problem is that they can't not really adapt very well about what the other team is doing in real time. Now, they have a great opening strategies. They know where everyone should be at the beginning of the round. But once you see something like a different attack coming down, you don't see any real adjustments. They stay in those same exact static places they know can work, and they're afraid to take a risk. They're afraid to adjust around what they can do. And maybe that's why Clubhouse works so well for them, because they can use those pen on paper strategies that they've been using this whole time. And for a map, all things considered, no offense, is just really all the strategies have been done pretty much to death. As in, it's all stagnant almost on Clubhouse. Like all the strategies are pretty much known to work almost fully, minus like the SSG roam, which is almost exclusively working for SSG, but that's a whole different conversation. But we are seeing a very roam heavy defense.
Yeah, and as we head to this bottom floor, we can see it looks like Katsola opening up just a little bit on over that piano area, looking to just watch the breach, hopefully assuming that they'll have that top floor control. But we can see Coffee over in this meeting area. The roam clear is taking place and taking away a Mozzie drone, but Fashi and Katsola both get a kill. Fashi falling to Katsola. So the Jackal's gone. Not a huge kill, but definitely a good one to get as we watch Petsu fall as well.
Yeah, a very bad opening pick. Losing down on your Jackal, that could really hurt this very roam-centric attack. Well, the defense is roam-centric, but, you know, losing out on your Jackal with all those footprints going everywhere, that gives a lot of flank potential for the roamers, and especially with them being down a person right now, that might be the move they want to take. There's going to be some free fires going down inside Garage, and that's going to allow Katsola to take a little bit of time to use that smoke grenade and probably rotating in the process. But wasting those smoke grenades really early on is kind of a misplay in my opinion. However, though, it is evening out in terms of man count, so it could go either way still, especially how things are going in Piano.
Preston was able to get a very nice flank and get a very nice double. However, he was picked off in the end by CS. But now it's a 2v2, and finally, that garage wall, the bandit charges are gone, but Habana's going to open it up. You only have one person playing vertical. You need flank drones, and most importantly, you need your team watching them, because you're not going to win without them. At this point, you need the support of your team. The drones are being positioned, and it looks like the smoke charges are going to try and shut down this plan. Katsola will get down, and W35 will be picked off by CS. And Fact Gaming able to actually pick up a round here.
Yeah, that was a really important round for Fact Gaming. They finally broke the 2-round streak for the last 2 maps. With them having another round on the board, it doesn't seem as dire this time around. They still need to probably force overtime if I had to take a guess, but they only need 2 more rounds to even it out. And if they can continue going like this, especially where we saw them kind of clasping in on that upper floor defense and getting those early picks down, that is what they need to do going forward. However, once those anchors start coming on board, we're seeing the same exact lineup actually instead. So if they're going to keep playing upstairs again, a lot of Machine needs to watch out for what's going on with these attackers coming in from above rather than focusing on just holding specific positions.
Honestly, I think if we see Fact, they're starting to just pick up a little bit, but that was all down to mechanical. So I think Machine, they've got a lot less of a distance to go to get this win. And the flanks that they've been able to get, they've been able to get Rastin to come up behind and just pick off 2 of these attackers. I think, honestly, I think Machine are going to be taking this one.
I think Machine has a really good chance of taking this one as well, but if Fact has the momentum going by winning last round, they could definitely keep it going. We do see CS swapping around to the Dokkaebi this time, and because, like we said before, there is a really non-anchoring defense we see on Garage, having those cameras on board will be really helpful. Unfortunately, no Valkyrie in play, so if one defender does go down, cameras get hacked, it's not going to provide the utmost intel, but it's still something that's, better than nothing. But we do see Katsola again hiding in bathroom. We haven't really seen too much come into fruition with this bathroom defense on this game so far. It's really good in theory. We've been seeing a lot in Pro League this past week, but it hasn't really been executed well on either side.
Now, I do want to talk very quickly about this Dokkaebi, because if you can get a Dokkaebi, if the Dokkaebi can get the cams, you have to force the defenders to decide. Do they want the cams, which gives both teams info, as Rastin finds a kill and shuts down Fashi, another intel up on the Jackal, or do you want to shoot the cams and deny both teams intel? And I want to draw your attention to something I realized yesterday. Dokkaebi's icon isn't actually black, it's just got black highlights, it's more white and gray. And
yeah, they changed it.
Yeah,
no, they had to have changed it recently. I'm like 99% sure.
Yeah, it's always been black in my mind, so I assume it has been, but swiftly moving on from my little bit of life-changing information, which has definitely made me question my life. We are still seeing, with 2 minutes left, we're still seeing Katsola in this position in bathroom. The mute jammer nearby going to make it very difficult to clear him out, but they know he's there because of the Dokkaebi. Now, with Rastin on 1 HP and Fashi down as well, I'm honestly fine saying it's a 4v4. However, we've seen Rastin can pull some very nice plays and coffee to open up this garage wall.
I'm curious to see what's happening going forward. Rastin barely hanging on with an inch of life, and it's looking like it's not going to be a garage take again, more or less just Piano. And Rastin, of course, as I say, that commentator's curse finally goes down, and we see Piano just being completely ripped open. Now, there's no defense really going and contesting it up until now. Apex looks like he wants to start finding it, but it's going to be the pre-fire that kind of gives him away. Coffee Stand watching the top of upstairs on top of Yellow is going to find Apex once he inevitably tries to rotate.
Yeah, with Coffee nearby, anything Apex tries to do will be swiftly returned, and Petsu is able to find off CS. Looks for another kill, but is unable to do so, just getting some drones instead, and Apex waiting. He's biding his time, because as we approach the last 30 seconds here, one attacker is still on that top floor, and if you can push these attackers to rush as Petsu gets a kill, they're gonna start making mistakes, and the flank starts to come around now from Apex. There's W35 finds Coffee. SM on his own on yellow stairs. He doesn't have diffuser, and he runs into Machine Soldier's gun, and Machine Soldiers take us to match point.
Definitely a lot of late game panic coming out from Fax's side. They got some opening picks, but once that Jackal went down, and keep in mind, Fashi has gone down, I think, been the top opening pick for the majority of these rounds, especially on Fax side. It's either Fashi or Bongo. But Fashi has been having a really hard time on this Jackal. I think we've only maybe seen one Jackal ping come out from him in the entire second half so far. And with that being said, losing out on an intel operator like that, especially without a Valkyrie on the board, like you mentioned, McCready, so Dokkaebi's hacking cameras won't be able to get as much intel as she normally could. It's going to really hurt the team, especially with the flank that we saw at the end could have been stopped by that Jackal.
Yeah, very much so. And I think as we head towards this final couple of rounds here, I can definitely see, as we're on the top floor, Machine Soldiers, they know already how Fat Gaming want to attack this, and they know that the aggressive playstyle worked at least at the start. So I think we could expect to replicate some of that.
I really hope we do see a replication of it as well. I'm curious, as usual, to see where these castle barricades are going to go. It's looking like it's going to be on the admin entryways once again in Spiral. Now, we did see pretty much the same exact strategy come out from backside. The only major difference is that instead of barricading a bathroom door, it's going to be barricading up admin, which is where they expect the teams to attack from. Now, I believe we did see the attack mostly coming from admin and balcony from fact side as well last game, so hopefully VOD reviewing this for their team can show them how just one simple castle barricade can really change up their defense.
Yeah, you've been really adamant about that castle barricade, and for good reason, I do believe, because as we are going to see the admin take, like you drew attention to, they're gonna have to get rid of these castle barricades and the mute jammers, and that's gonna take a lot of utility to do so. So as we see the push start to take place into admin, yes, they can go in and know that they're relatively safe. They also know they've got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they definitely do have their work cut out for them. C4 unfortunately gonna miss, but Apex does take down Fashy yet again. Now, I'm not sure where Fashy was killed at. He was killed on balcony. That has just been an absolute death zone for everyone on every team so far this game. And as a Jackal, why are you playing on balcony? You need to be finding those footsteps and utilizing your utility. And for the most part, Fax has been good about doing that. But it seems like Fashy's just struggling a little bit. But we do see that same exact hole opening up that Machine also utilized for their bomb plant on A. So it looks like they're prepping up for an A plant almost immediately.
I really like what we're seeing here from Machine Soldiers. They're focusing more on the yellow, the bathroom side, using the longer angles that they can, especially on that dog. That's key with the MP5 and the ACOG. They're setting up, like I think you predicted before at the start of this, much more a retake heavy kind of defensive style, which we also saw on post. And as these angles are starting to be opened up more and more, time running down, Fact Gaming are only looking better and better. However, they still have that man down. They will be picking up the diffuser and looking to make something.
They do have that man down, but at this point in the game, Fashy would have been perfect for the flank watch or post plant situation. So while it's a matter of them trying to get that diffuser down, he wasn't the worst opening pick. Had the Hibana gone down, that would have been a lot worse, but they're really going to be hurting themselves once and if that diffuser does go down. So it's kind of a fluid, it's almost like a fluid need almost, if that makes any sense for the Jackal pick. But we do see Cat Sola right now in lobby, and that's going to be taken down by CS right away, and that's a really good pick as well. You lose that on your Mew. His jammers had already gone down, but all things considered, you lose out on the M85, and Petsu does get the refrag on the Bongo as well. So luckily that Hibana wall is already open, but even then, you need as many bodies as you can for a time limit that's slowly going down.
Yes, and very much it's going down, and Petsu able to pick off Coffee Sun's face, bringing it down to a 2v4. Only 2 kills away from winning this best of 3 series. The stim comes out as SM finds not 1, but 2 kills. Looks for a 3rd, but he cannot get it as Rastin and Petsu both clean up. And Machine Soldiers are your winners of today's game.
Yeah, I really wish I could say I was entirely surprised about Machine Soldiers winning, but it seemed like overall they really knew how to adapt more. I think the mechanical skills for both teams was really there, and I had said that earlier as well, but the ability for Machine Soldiers to adapt around the playstyle for Fact on both attack and defense is what really set themselves apart. And we did have Petsu go 13 and 4 on that final map 3, and that, again, I mean, it's hard to compete with that, especially when he was the only person in the entire game to go double digits. It's hard to combat with that.
And unfortunately, Fact Gaming's run through the ESA Contender Series for the summer continues to go 3-0, as in they have lost 3 games and won 0. An exciting best of 3 series, Keg. I'm very grateful that you joined us for the last 2 maps, and as we look towards the future, we will be watching Regnan and Mako be playing very soon, Keg. But what are some of the key points about that game for you?
I think the key point is that it's really important to VOD review your matches. I think there's a lot of pen on paper strategies that Fact Gaming really likes to use. They watch a lot of Pro League. You can tell both teams do because of the strategies they employed. But the problem is that they got really scared halfway through each and every round, where they knew how to attack. They knew their post plan situations for the most part. It's just that whole middle area, and it's a huge struggle for a lot of, tier 3 teams because they have no idea what to do to get from A to C. That B area is just super difficult for a lot of teams. But I think if they VOD review and realize that, hey, if we just change this one tiny little thing on our attacks or our defenses, we can completely turn this around and turn that 0-3 that we have in ESA contenders right now to a 3-3 very easily.
Mm. And overall, we are going to see Machine Soldiers, there we go, nearly hit us right there, taking the win, picking a second couple of maps. Coastline followed by Consular after Fact Gaming were able to pick up their map pick of Clubhouse. We are going to be watching Regnant versus Mako Esports playing later, but we are going to be taking a short break. And Keg, I cannot wait to be casting again with you.
Oh, absolutely, McCready. You are a fantastic caster, man. Don't sell yourself short. In between games, he was like, "Oh, can you give me feedback and stuff?" And I'm like,
Mm.
"I don't know what to say, man. I really like your casting style, and I hope to see you a lot more as well."
Yeah, myself too. If there's any NA substitute spots and I'm awake and you're casting, by all means, let me know. But
Absolutely.
unfortunately, we will be taking a short break and we will be back in a short bit. So do not go anywhere.